This is all the best bits out. Adam doesn't he? Doesn't press recording time.
Oh, no.
3-0 Villa, best.
Look, how come every time we start recording,
Steal
Jack has on
own
his
goal.
phone?
Steal own goal.
You saw us at the keeper. I must
keeper.
hit
The
ball, come back in,
professionalism
smash
just
on the
goes
back
through
there
the
or
floor, doesn't it? Soon
you
as he
doing?
starts talking on the
Sorry,
mic.
yes.
Every single week.
And we're live.
Every week.
I know. I'm checking the Suns.
And it's live. Imagine if we did do it live. We couldn't actually physically do this live.
Why not?
Do you think you could?
Takes with 3 hours to set the bloody mixer up, that's why.
No, 100%. Aye.
You've
reckon?
been here since 6 o'clock.
Oh, right. Well, I get what you're saying. Aye. Maybe we couldn't.
No, that wasn't the reason why I thought that. The reason was because I think we'd see something we shouldn't see.
That's what I meant. Aye. I was the penny dropped, and I was like, yeah, we'll definitely see something.
Thanks for coming.
I know, yeah.
Welcome, Chris.
Just side conversations.
Ezzy's back. You didn't see Ezzy last time. You just heard him. This was before we got these lights
I
and
know,
the camera and
actually,
everything.
wasn't it?
Had to wait for the face transplant to take full effect.
Yeah.
We thought the podcast.
I was like, I'm ready.
We thought the podcast was missing hair. Like Deck, I was only on with hair, so we thought we'll get Ezzy.
He's got more hair than he had on Saturday. It's grown back quite quick.
My hair does grow quick, especially when I'm pissed off.
I rub it in.
When you're pissed off, your hair grows.
Yeah, it grows when you're pissed off.
Aye, it does.
Somebody can make me really angry.
It's like a cheer pick.
Mark, you're a fat prick. No, it's not good.
Beard's just growing faster.
He looks like Dele Alli.
We started.
Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Where do we start? Shall we just go to the Liverpool game?
What was before that?
I can't remember, but I think we should.
Bournemouth. Bournemouth.
Right, he's a mouth.
Yeah, I've heard this. He's a mouth.
He's a mouth.
Aye,
He's a
go on.
fucking mouth, alright.
Shut it, mouth.
Zach like Thai mouth, but
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aye. See.
Aye.
Yeah, but what about? Oh yeah, I do say great your mouth as well.
See.
Yeah.
But don't say Plymouth.
Plymouth.
Do you say Portsmouth? Or
Playmouth.
Plymouth. Don't say what else.
Playmouth.
It's a Plymouth time. Right.
It's all in the syllables.
I'll talk about Bournemouth then.
Aye.
I can't even remember that far back. What happened?
I was in the programme.
Oh, I remember what happened.
Yes,
I'll tell you what happened. We were 2-0
We
up.
took the lead, didn't we?
We did. We dominated. Now, we battered them for.
Complete control for 70 minutes.
Where did it all go wrong?
Shelby missed an own goal.
So
Then
we-
it went downhill from that.
And then Rafa took Gale off and put Isaac Hayden on.
Well, we're 2-0 up then.
What was he thinking there, man? What was he thinking there? Eh?
Just leave it. Just.
Oh,
No, I mean,
honestly.
so, yeah.
But Perez missed his sitter as well.
I don't think that was a sitter.
It wasn't a sitter compared to.
I don't know,
Shelby's.
Is
like.
Perez
No,
not?
it's like-
Is
The
Perez
keeper
not?
was lying down, he was 6 yards out. It's not a
6
sitter.
yard out, he didn't even hit the
Come
target.
on.
That's a sitter. Like.
Is he
That's
not
Perez.
turning as
Shit.
that one though?
I didn't give his eyes shut, man. Didn't give his eyes were closed.
I can't even remember.
He's got to score, man.
Nah, he had to score that. Like.
Aye, yeah.
So are
so
we-
would Shelby as well, mind you.
I would say the Perez chance was
Was easier.
Easier.
I thought
Bollocks.
I think it was
agree
like
with him. I thought it was
definitely.
as well.
I think it was.
I'm not having that, like.
No, I'm with you with that one, like.
And he's sticking up for Perez, and that's real.
I know.
Exactly. Jesus.
That's how serious it
Christ,
is.
that's twice in my life.
Oh, and Murphy wasn't in the squad, was he? That game. Jacob Murphy.
Oh, God.
He's
no.
fucking.
No,
Yeah, we'll go again. Yeah, we'll go again.
I just want to come
Is it
back to
pick on
something.
Murphy hour again?
No. Was
What's he done?
Was Jacob Murphy in the squad on that game?
I don't know. You probably know
I don't
because
think he was.
He wasn't in the squad.
he wasn't.
We'll come to that later. Move on.
he started
He
already.
got
We're like-
arrested, he got arrested, didn't he?
You got arrested?
Not arrested. He was arrested. He had a little rest.
Oh, very sorry. Right,
Not
that's
to
fair
Her
enough.
Majesty's
That's fair
pleasure, at Rafa's pleasure.
You missed a great joke there, that guy.
enough. Did I?
Honestly thought you were going to say it, but I'm not going to say it because I'll say I'm being harsh on him.
Oh, no, I better not because we had complaints. So, no, I'm not actually going to slag him off either. I've just got a point I wanted to say.
All right.
In a minute.
In a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get there, are we?
Aye, absolutely. Aye.
All right.
Why not just get
So,
it now?
before the Bournemouth game, I was saying this is 2 points dropped or an away point.
It's a great point, but it's not when you're 2-0 up after
Yeah.
70 minutes.
That's it. Like.
Yeah.
So it.
You would have probably
you
took
know.
a point before the game.
Oh,
Especially
Yeah, of course
on
you
the
would.
back of
Any
the win
away
against
game,
Man
any
United.
away game, you take a point.
Yeah.
But
Aye. Imagine if you had been 2-0 down and you come back
Yeah.
2-0.
Oh, you'd be
oh yeah,
Would
yeah,
have
take
felt
a win, isn't it?
So it's,
Exactly.
and I said to someone, if we had a drew 2-2 with Man United and beat Bournemouth 1-0,
Yeah,
would have been
you'd
the
be
best
happy.
4 points I've ever had in my life.
Exactly,
yeah.
But
That's
because
the
it's
way I
happened
look
the
at
other way around, it's not so good. So it's.
To them 2 games, 4 points. You're happy with that, aren't you?
Aye, absolutely. Yeah.
I think the Man U game probably made up for it because you got the 3 points there.
Aye.
So you could afford to drop points at Bournemouth. Well, you can't afford to drop points when you are in the places that you are, like. But
It makes it more frustrating though when you've beaten Man United in a game where you think you're going to get
And you're
spanked.
cruising
And then you're
against
beaten
Bournemouth.
2-0, you think, we're going to get...
we're
tenth, man.
absolutely
We're tenth
we
at that
battered
point.
them.
I was bad, man.
Back them first half.
And then,
And as soon as they scored that second goal, they went from 10th to 15th.
yeah,
Well, five places,
Well, you
dropped
watched-
by one goal.
Me and Adam watched it, and yeah, downstairs, and I was telling you too. And we were at Liverpool. One of the pubs up the road was shut, who also played the game, so all the shite from them came down. Yeah. Someone on the pissing phone, man,
Oh, I hate
like
that.
looking for the scores. So obviously our stream's like 40 seconds behind or something daft like that, and they start celebrating, and we've got like a goal kicker somewhere. I'm going, oh, for
I
fuck's
hate
sake,
that.
yeah, we'll go again.
It's ridiculous.
So when we scored the first, we already knew it was coming.
oh, they were Newcastle fans. Oh, right, sorry, I thought they were
You sit and
celebrating.
watching the game, sit and watch the game.
I know,
Yeah, I don't
exactly.
see the point in that, yeah.
But to be fair, once they celebrated, there was a few like lads kicked off like massively with them. Like, so when the second went in, you didn't hear
I remember being in
anything.
I rember being in the Vidge one time and that happening.
It's not worse, isn't it?
Um,
It's a nightmare. It just ruins it for everyone.
Aye.
I don't know why you'd be doing that. Like
You're just sitting there and someone will go like, oh, get in, like everyone's cheering. You think, like, and then you look and well, obviously we've scored.
The only way
Yeah,
it might
Someone will go,
happen.
oh,
I
for
know.
fuck's sake.
It just takes all the enjoyment out of watching it, doesn't it?
Pointless even watching it.
That's why I don't even get on Twitter or anything like that when I'm watching it.
But if the lads are
they're
checking the
quite
bet
quick as
though,
well, aren't they?
if the lads are checking their bet and they're checking the live scores and it comes up, like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying they have to announce the fact they've seen it, but if they are just refreshing Twitter waiting, then that's a different argument. But if they're checking their bet on a Saturday and it comes up 1-0, you know, it's like...
It just takes all the pleasure out of
Well, no,
watching
of course
the
it
game,
does.
though,
No, it does. Aye. But if, as I say, if they're sitting there
May
literally
as well sit
checking
in
the
the house and
score,
watch CFAX.
does it still exist that?
Probably not.
I used to love
Bamboozle.
it.
Teletext.
I remember it was teletext, man. It was mint, wasn't it?
love
Big High
teletext.
Bedlam, that was the
Wasn't it?
boy, that game.
That was on
Should
Sky.
That was on Sky, that
First
was
Sky, that,
I was
aye.
belt like that.
You should see the score, didn't you? You used to have to press the same numbers 3 times so
Aye.
it would refresh
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
That's right. It was mint.
Come on, man, you want to score a goal?
For
Right.
those younger listeners,
Fucking hell, people will be watching this. Can't see
You don't
facts.
know
What's
your
C
team.
facts?
C-Fax, what's C-Fax?
Which
like
team
the
is it
internet
that's
on the
doing the
telly,
C facts updates? Is it Gateshead?
Gateshead do it,
The
aye.
Gateshead has seen
Gateshead
it.
before each.
That's
Like, I
quite
think
good,
it's the
isn't it?
full-time score or
Yeah.
something to do it, aye.
That's quite cool.
classic.
You can get them on mugs as well, can't you?
Do you want to do you want to talk about Murphy or
Well, not well because we're going to go to Liverpool now, aye.
Or just be
No,
back?
you
You
might
might
go
go
back.
back.
Been, we've only been back a few
Just
days.
got back.
Jesus Christ.
You might want to go on about the trip down that, but what I couldn't believe is he hasn't been in the squad for weeks, like at all. Hasn't even been a part of Nout, and then he starts against Liverpool away in a number 10 role, which, like what, man? Like, what's
confused
going
the hell out of
on?
me.
Like,
Do you think it was weird that he was dropped in the first place?
well, a bit of all of it, like because I didn't think he did much wrong to be
Aye.
dropped. That's why I'm not saying I'm having
Well,
to go at
Kennedy
him.
came in, didn't he?
I mean,
Yeah,
Kennedy's
he
to
played-
be
he played
position.
on the other side. He was playing right side, wasn't he? Richie got dropped for Murphy.
but then Richie scored against United, and
And then he kind of...
Man United, and
Oh, he's doing it again.
It's alright, fucking Shearer was
He's
doing
doing it again.
it.
Was he?
Shearer was doing it on Match of the Day.
Bastard. She was ball
I just took
prick.
after Alan.
Baldy
that's all,
prick
yeah.
that he is.
Height him
I
off
do
the table.
apologise.
No, don't.
Oh, it's Game of Thrones
Stand
time.
back up, man.
Alan, get up.
There you go, son.
Get up, Alan.
Get up, Alan, how are you?
But
died
I
like that,
just found it really
That's what I say to Alan
surprising.
Bond.
You're
He's
not
trying to
Dwight
restrict
Hughes.
himself.
I don't know if that was loud enough for people to pick up.
That's it.
Oh, yeah,
They're
well,
gonna
That's
have-
what they say to
they're gonna
Alan
have
Bond when he's trying to reach the top
to-
shelf.
They're going to have to rewind that bit to listen to it again, aren't they? Just go, what did he say? I
I love Bonzi.
haven't seen him for a while. In fact, I haven't seen him since your last Snapchat. When you seen him.
I worked in Gateshead for what, 7 months? Driving around Gateshead. I've seen him once. You told me I'd see him all the time.
That's because I see him all the time.
go.
I'm disappointing you.
It's winter.
Sorry, D, mate.
Maybe it's he doesn't want to get his little chicken feet cold.
You always see them
Right.
people going past in the corner and he's like, well, past the like, Charles like, who Bonzi, kiddo?
That's why I don't reach Snapchat.
Every week.
Everybody that sees him like
It's fucking Friday, there's Bonzi getting his payment on the turn like that, he's just walking down the street like, oh, Bonzi! Hey.
This is why we don't pay for podcasts.
You saw him in outside of Little in Reckoning, didn't you?
Oh, do you know where it was?
It was, I remember.
No, it wasn't. It was near the Kiwi.
Wasn't it?
It was? I can remember exactly where it was.
It was
Check the
outside.
scores.
It was
I'll just
outside
switch
of
on
the
the
fire shop in Reckoning.
It was not.
Okay.
It wasn't. Right, Liverpool.
How about you?
So we all went to Liverpool.
We did.
We did.
All
We
four
did,
of
aye,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all five, if you include
All
him.
5 were. Adam was there too. I think we all went thinking, we're not getting anything from this.
I was still more annoyed by the end of the game. Though. I thought it was
went
only
in-
4 or 5.
I went in
maybe,
hope.
You went in hope.
I went in hope. She was great.
No
I'll tell you one thing before we go to the game. Going back, that first pub we went into,
The
just
Orgles.
yeah,
Orgles.
just to that kid who put that smoke bomb in that bar.
What a fucking
If you're listening
tosser.
to this, you're a fucking bellend.
Tell him. Look at the
Absolute.
camera and go with
You're a
bellend.
fucking bellend. Get a fucking life. Go walk somewhere and
Right, so-
try and find a life because you're a fucking arsehole.
back-
Sorry,
Story.
Dad, he doesn't mean it, honestly.
Sorry, Dad.
It's not only my job to get angry with
The
Chris.
back-
No, you're right, though. It was a
Fucking right.
disgrace.
The backstory: the coach we on was supposed to be stopping outside Liverpool, like so we could go to a couple of pubs, but
'Cause of the weather
it took
and
us
that
so
one.
long
Bad weather,
to get there because of the weather. Because we went the long way around. They went right. We're just going straight into Liverpool City Centre, and we're going to drop you off at Anfield. Then do what you want. So obviously the first pub we come is the Oracles, where the majority of people pile in, home and away fans. So we went in there. We've had a couple of pints. Then we come back inside. Next minute, the place just starts filling with
Fucking
smoke.
filling with smoke.
Well, it was a good
And a bounce out.
atmosphere.
Aye, nah, but I
The pub,
think-
everybody was
That's
having a
good,
good laugh.
It's always like
crack
that.
on and all
Liverpool and
that.
Newcastle fans, I think they've always had like a,
Yeah.
quite a good relationship.
Well, the
So,
similarities there, aren't there?
Yeah, there's
Like,
no rivalry or like that. There.
and-
Obviously, singing songs like Rafa and that, you ain't gonna get kicked out of the bar. Yeah.
Aye.
So
The next minute,
everything seemed to be fine.
I'll
And then-
see a bouncer scrambling
Aye.
across the floor, and I was going, "What's going on?" Yeah. Then fire the smoke alarms and that going off. The bouncer's running out with a fucking smoke
Was it a
bomb.
smoke bomb? I thought it was a
Well, me
flame.
was a smoke
and
bomb.
you opened the doors, didn't you? And you just launched it out
Yeah,
the door.
Then the DJ who came on the stand, he was like, "Is it fucking ruined it for
Oh,
yourselves?
aye.
Fucking
The
get
DJ
out!"
was
Like,
not
what are you
happy.
That was hilarious. Him
The
on the
DJ,
microphone.
the DJ was the funniest thing of the
Aye.
day.
As much as it was
You've
a
spoiled it.
You fucking spoiled it for fucking everyone.
Fucking get out! So we were like, "That all right, mate.
that was
Where's the other boss?"
So the
And the
DJ's
coppers
like,
come piling in.
aye, the coppers came piling in. The bouncers are going, "You've ruined it. The pub's getting shut down now. We don't know when we're going to reopen." I'm not sure if the pub ever did
It didn't.
shut down. Like.
He
No, I
took,
think it-
he just
no, I
took
think-
all the Newcastle fans out because we
Aye,
obviously
aye.
will still stand outside for a while, weren't we?
I didn't shut down, like.
It's only
He just
a
took,
shut
he
down.
just
Just
took
got
all the
rid of us,
Newcastle
that's all.
fans out.
The fucking
To be
fire
fair, we could
brigade's
have
on
walked
its
out
way.
that door
And
just
walked
walked
back in,
around the
aye.
other one and went in the
Yeah,
other
one
side
of you,
because-
like.
Yeah, but
He had his Newcastle coat on. Like.
if that was you,
I make Keegan cool. Like.
if that was you, like as you just said, you're a bellend.
You're a fucking bellend, like.
Well, even then, just after that, there was still like a group of 3 or 4 going on like.
But I've
arseholes.
sure seen a couple get arrested outside.
So,
Pricks, man. Pricks.
Was it?
aye.
Oh, I
Do
didn't
you
see
remember
that.
I
Did
went and spoke to one of them?
you?
Oh, aye,
think you
aye. The lad in the blue coat. He was the prick. He was the biggest prick of the lot of them, aye. He had a blue coat on, little shithead. And he was as if he's like the first pint he's ever had in his life. And he just wanted everyone to know about it, basically. And he went over and went, "Listen, son, I'm not getting it next week."
Did you?
I don't know if he said that, but he
I
said something
didn't use
like that.
those exact words.
Where was I when this was happening?
Oh, you
Right.
went up somewhere, man.
You'd already been thrown out.
Is this when you hangover?
You
You set off a smoke bomb
Whitey's in the
somewhere.
corner.
I didn't know that. Like
You thought you were on top of the pops coming out through like the doors, through the smoke.
doors in your
Doors
eyes.
in their eyes. Suddenly.
I did forget that though until you just said that. Like you did, you walked over to him, didn't you? And you were like, "Listen, prick, sort it out."
Why did you call him a prick? Like, what was he actually doing? Was he the smoke bomb
Being a
kid?
prick.
I think it might have been
I have my suspicions. If it wasn't him, it was certainly
that group.
Someone who was with him, aye.
See, the fat guy with the worst ginger boards ever. He had an LS jacket on, an LS cap, like from the 70s, like 78-ish era. Like a cream hadn't been washed for years. He had ginger. If you're watching, sort yourself out. What was
Point to the camera, tell
I
him.
just did. Sort yourself out. You must have seen him.
Yeah, I couldn't even see me hand
Now,
in
what
my
I-
face, mate, to that time,
If you
man.
are watching, I'll give you some credit. He started off all the songs in that bar.
All Sunderland songs,
But
though.
his appearance, man. I was like, did he get dressed in the door?
He said, wasn't here? It wasn't
was-
a fashion show. He was
He was
getting
Harried. He's Harried a chance, but his appearance.
His appearance was the... Honestly, man.
I bet he sits every weekend and listens to this podcast, and he's gonna listen to it. The morning's gonna be like, "Oh fucking like."
Or change your
quiet,
wardrobe, man.
quiet.
Change your wardrobe.
He literally got dressed in the dark, man. I'm telling
Leave
you.
him alone.
He got dressed in the dark. His boards, man. He had these things. They were, oh my god, honestly, horrendous. But he was a good chanter, like.
Oh well, it's good
But
something
it
going
was
for him
each-
then.
it was
That's
either
like me
him,
with a drummer in it.
it was either him or Blue Jacket who set that off. Both of them pricks.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was him because he was at that side, whereas the smoke bomb was over there, wasn't it?
Right, through it. Anyway,
Through 17 people's legs.
So after that, we went to the half scarf bar, didn't we?
that was,
That was
a
cool. That was
Scarf
all
ball.
right.
It wasn't,
Champions League
it wasn't
trophy.
called that, but
Hey.
it was.
I can't remember what it's called. That like
The half scarf bar. That's what it's called.
It was
Was
like
it that
name or
what
something
it's
like not the Brandlin, but something like that, wasn't it?
That was a good pub,
I
that.
can't believe I paid £3 to fucking hold a fake Champions League trophy.
Aye, you did.
Oh, look, Champions League trophy, it's £3,
Well, it's,
mate. Come on then, give him the £3.
That's where
Did
they
you have to
send
pay
all
£3 each?
The corporate stuff in
Fuck
there.
off.
£3 I paid.
£3 each.
Oh, did I? I didn't pay out, did I? Oh, thanks, man.
£6.
Oh, £6 you
You
paid?
paid £6.
Oh, no way, I'll have to give you that money, but I didn't know
That's
that.
alright, I paid £20 for his Subway in the
Oh, I didn't
service
give you that.
station.
You had a canny day, you didn't you?
I found it tonight, you
He
put that
didn't
away,
spend a
man.
penny on Saturday, him. Mortal drunk, fed all day.
I was drinking them terrorist cans, them were cheap as out. Hey, I was alright there.
Photos to treasure.
Do you not want to
I'll
like?
forgive you that 20. Sorry about
Do you not
that.
want to get an advert for your cans?
Aye. What the can again?
Galahad. Oh, come on,
Galahad,
how
yeah.
dare you.
I just know them as
Taste
terrorist cans.
sensation,
You
never.
need, anyone listening that wants a decent lager, you need to go to Aldi, and they're called Galahad.
Beautiful.
4 cans for £2 from Aldi. Aren't they lovely?
Yeah.
They are
I think
really
everyone
nice,
on the coach had a sip of one of your cans, like.
Everybody was impressed.
No,
As soon as it opened, everyone was like, what's that?
And I was like a little black market of cans down at the
It's
front. wasn't it?
Galahad, mate.
They don't look the greatest. The cans aren't the best. Looks like a Peugeot logo or something.
I think you
But,
called the terrorist cans last time.
they are. That's what they are. Even you look the print of the name, you just think
Galahad,
never gone, like
yeah.
take one nice.
But you were thinking it was
Galahad, that famous
brewed in
terrorist.
Warwickshire.
No, but if you look at the way it's like the font that they've used, it does look like
Old English font.
Its appearance.
You know, like
It's appearance,
Galahad,
yeah.
the
Ginger
Knight of
Horse
the
and that.
Round Circle.
Anyway,
Sir Galahad.
I know I'm hearing you, but I'm telling you, if them people won't go, do you got Aldi and buy that, right? You're not thinking of Sir Galahad, like you're not, man. You're picking up and go, aye, terrorist
You're
can.
thinking, Galahad.
It's
Aye. See, I didn't do that.
Fuck's sake.
I didn't do that. He did that.
He did that, look. He's shifting the blame on us.
He's sitting there calling people terrorists. He's doing racist accents.
How can you do a racist accent?
Do that one again and I'll tell you.
Galahad.
Yeah, just like that.
But going back to that bar, I really enjoyed that bar though. It was good. Good crack. Loads
Right.
of foreigners in there. It wasn't one
There was,
Scouse,
there was, if you remember, there was one Scouse.
There was
that
some
came in,
Norwegians there,
and we
wasn't there?
went
Swedish.
Everything, everything.
German, Swedish,
Well,
Norwegian.
I put something on Twitter about the amount of like international fans
you're
Liverpool
gonna
had,
be
and I'm gonna
grieved,
be a shit for that. Like saying I was racist in that. I went because I
Probably
couldn't.
because you did it in that voice. Look at all of these
sake.
fans in here.
You can't say it now.
All I put
They
on
all
was
say,
saying,
they all say proper Liverpool fans go to like midweek cup games.
yeah,
Because obviously people don't like fly over.
Well,
for the week
I
and
put on that. Well, I bumped in Koreans, Chinese, Russians, Swedish, Norwegian, all sorts of fans. They all went half and half scarves.
Oh, aye.
Aye.
Then the
It was
replies
an
were
event
like
for them, wasn't it?
Irish. There was loads of Irish.
Yeah. Well, that's what they all come over.
And an Irish
Yeah, I
Newcastle
go on
fan
the bus
replied to
side.
me saying, "Well,
On the
I'm
bus
Irish. I'm
side,
not
yeah.
a sport. I'm not allowed to support Newcastle." I'm saying, "No, I'm not. I'm not saying that." But
No, you're not.
like going into Liverpool, it's
Aye.
a whole different breed.
That's what. If you're going to a Liverpool bar that's next to the ground, you're not expecting to talk to Irish, Russians, Norwegian. You're not expecting
No,
that,
no.
are you? You know,
No,
I
you're
was
not.
I went to
If
tell
you
you, man.
think,
and I
though,
was- I couldn't believe it.
when we're at home, we get the Dutch and the
Yes, but
Norwegian coming over.
that
the
was on a
ferry,
different
don't we?
level
Every
on
week.
Saturday.
But literally every bar 2 people in that bar, they were all
Aye, the wall.
foreign.
That's why their atmosphere shit.
Aye.
That's why.
It is like.
It was shit, wasn't
the
it?
amount
Was
of
poor, like-
stalls selling half and half scarves is ridiculous.
Oh, the cash in, no, don't they?
Why do you want to buy a half and half Liverpool and Newcastle scarf?
But that's what
See,
I'm saying,
because-
it's like
because
if
it's
you're
like-
doing an event,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's like you going to Germany and going to see Dortmund by Munich. You'd probably
You're a
buy that
tourist.
half and half scarf.
They missed a trick by not doing half and half Rafa scarves.
And there's probably Liverpool fans there who are like, oh, I'm
Rafa
going to
with
go
his
to
Champions League
Newcastle,
win,
Liverpool, and then it's like a
better
mem-
half
it's like a
Rafa
memorable
with his
scarf, isn't it?
championship trophy. That's what they should have done.
Aye.
I would have bought that.
There you
See,
go.
this is wrong.
I would have bought that. I definitely would have. They had a merchandise store in the pub, didn't they?
Yeah.
So like pin badges and
And
stuff.
half
fucking
and half.
expensive.
Was it?
Was it? I didn't look at the price. I did have a quick little browse.
How much was it on the pin badges for?
I didn't see any pin badges.
No, I had
Oh,
loads.
oh,
I
I
had
didn't
loads.
see
I
them.
had loads.
£4 if you want to buy some.
He was too busy
Did you
griefing
not
him with
have
the blue coat. man.
Special offer on?
No.
I thought you did.
Nah, I don't get it, email. Right,
You did yesterday.
Anfield. Let's talk about Anfield. That was my first time at Anfield, right? And I was expecting to be blown away by the atmosphere, especially before kickoff with the whole "you'll never walk alone" stuff and that. I was disappointed.
Oh, I was gutted because I
Yeah,
I
wasn't
like
that
Liverpool.
good, like, was it?
I like Liverpool.
it was
like.
poor. Like when they were
It's-
singing
it's
"You'll
not
never
the
walk alone,"
Liverpool,
it wasn't what I
remember.
see.
Funny, I've been to somewhere like it's amazing. In some way, it's like that, just bang average.
Yeah.
It's Champions League games and things like that they get stuff like
Yeah.
that, nighttime games and that way. Like I say, there's more. Sounds
the
harsh, but there's more
hardcore fans.
Scousers there.
Yeah.
But to be fair, to them, it's not just Liverpool. Look how many games we've had this season at home where there's been no atmosphere and stuff like that.
It's a nothing game for them. If they were playing Man United, it would have been wild.
Do you think that people come to St James's Park thinking, "Oh, this is famous for its atmosphere," and
Aye.
the way I went to
Probably,
Anfield thinking
yeah,
that?
of course it will.
Definitely. And there'll be loads leaving our place going, well, it wasn't what I thought it would
Oh
be.
shit!
But then you go back, then you'll go to a game where, say, like Man United, for example, at home, what we had,
Yeah.
when we are really on full tilt, and it is really good.
Yeah, you
But
just
they're
got to be
few and far
fortunate to be at the
between.
right game.
Aye,
don't
the
you?
right game,
It has to be like a something game.
No, I was disappointed.
To be
From
fair,
start to finish.
that's the only Liverpool game that I've been to where it hasn't been
It was flat
like a
throughout,
good-
wasn't it?
Good atmosphere.
We were class, like.
I only actually heard during the game. Only heard them sing once, and then it was they started singing Liverpool, and we then just drowned them out
Yeah,
by
everyone
chanting
cheered,
back to them.
I only cheers with a few of them, which was
Yeah.
nice. Like when they started saying, like, oh, finally. And I love the chant of Where's Your Famous Atmosphere. That was the best chant of the day for me.
Why are some of them moaning about the sign on song?
It's
It's
because
been going
You're
for
right.
about 25 years.
it's been going
If not
on.
longer.
I can understand why, because when Liverpool fans came up here, there was a massive donation one at the food bank, and the food bank is quite a major topic at the minute
It's
amongst.
tongue in cheek sort of stuff. I don't think it's generally.
Well, I think a
Nah,
lot of
it's been-
Liverpool
it's
fans
been
took
going that
offence to it,
long,
and that
like.
didn't they?
I think it's bollocks. Why would you sing? They've got this stereotype of being all unemployed and
Like
being
stealing
thieves
stereos and stuff like
exactly
that,
all that
aye.
shit. It's exactly the same in the northeast. The problem is it's the bellends that we were talking about before the match. These 20-year-old kids going on. Like it's the first time they're away from the mum's nipple.
That blue coat guy was one of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going on like that. They've
You're
had
fucking belly.
they've had four cans, probably double that lines,
Aye, that's
coming
true.
to the game and just getting on like dickheads, and they've got no appreciation of
That's it. Like.
what's happened in the past. And that Newcastle and Liverpool are very, very similar places.
Yeah, that's why I think a lot of people are thinking that chant was in bad taste.
Yeah.
I get
think
what
it's,
it
an,
is.
it's, it's an age thing. I think it's yes, it has
It's been
around
going on.
for
It's
a
like the
long, long
Liverpool
time.
slum song and stuff like that. You've sang them for years, haven't you?
I didn't sing it, like, and I said to you, I was like, I didn't really, I'm not going to sing that one. But,
But you would
not
not expect it to be sung.
It
It gets sung every time we play them.
Aye, it
So I
wasn't-
don't understand why it's such a big thing now.
Yeah, you're right. I agree there. Like, I really give it to Henderson big time. Like, as good as that
This
could
is
be.
we're like separating again. But why am I like your tag team partner like today?
Yeah, Dudley boys used to, man.
Get the tables.
Actually, not Earthquake and Typhoon. That's better.
That's not very nice. Twat.
I'm just kidding. No, but I just loved giving Henderson grief. It was just brilliant. Like, he didn't like it, did he? He turned around to it at one stage and he was not happy. Like, was he?
What to you?
No, like to the fans. Like to
Oh, Decker!
He turned around and he looked him right in the eyes.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah,
being
Decker!
awful.
Leave
will you stop calling
Stop
us
taking
names?
the piss overs, Decker!
Leave us alone.
Hey, man, leave us alone, will ya?
That's right.
Is that what happened?
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly that. Huh?
It's true because I was stood next to him at the time. And I was like, take him away. He's only little.
We lost Decker before winning the game. He ran away.
You lost me as well. Oh no, sorry, you did lose
Who was
me.
that? I
You
didn't
just
know
fucking
that.
left us.
Oh, can you remember that guy? Oh, you probably can't. There's no point even going.
Is that someone else?
There was a kid outside
What
the
colour
ground.
coat was he wearing?
He didn't have a coat on. All he had was Newcastle top on.
Was he
And he-
cold?
Yeah, no
And
less
I said to him,
on.
I went, you must be freezing. I said, nah, you're trying to be hard, but you must be really cold. And he went, no, I'm not trying to be hard. It's just not cold. I went, no. I went, mate.
It was
Actually,
freezing.
to be
like.
fair,
Coming
over
out of the
there,
ground, it was.
our there
freezing, man.
was like a summer's day compared to right
Aye,
here.
but it was
I
fucking...
did that.
There's
When I
no
was
still
sound,
towel,
it was
though.
better,
When
like.
I turned that corner to walk towards where our turnstile was, I was like, this is cool. Like.
was cool, like.
Anyway, he's busted out near top.
When
Well,
that-
yeah, he's top one, but you know.
When that first ball was well, then we saw there's no space in here. We'll stand outside. We've got like a picnic area outside. And we stood outside for 2 minutes and we just went, oh, I would just go back in.
Come back
Fucking
inside.
hell, man.
Freezing eye.
horrendous.
Penguins walking past here, like, sent a guy in, like.
This
But,
stereotype
nice when
of
the sun
Jordy
came
was
out.
being geeked on that,
Oh,
not
I
when he
know.
caught foot that had about 4 layers on.
But he had his top off. He's top off, but he had his coat off. He was carrying a little cardi
That's
thing,
off.
and he was like, "Oh, it's great,
A
man."
cardigan!
Yeah,
He's trying to be hard and he was
Yeah, like-
carrying a cardigan.
Well, kind of like a
Was
cardi.
it a pullover?
No, had buttons.
Had buttons.
And I was standing with him, and I was like, "I need to get rid of this guy."
Welcome
Like,
to the
because, and I was looking for
Fashion
you.
podcast.
And then there's Chrisy and Adam, and the other turnstile literally the most unhappy I've ever seen two people going.
Have you not seen the photo?
They were looking like that, just head down. I was going, yeah, man. I was like shouting, he just head down like that. And I was like, we're going into a match, like, be happy, you know what I mean? Like, that full time coming out's fair enough.
Have you not seen the photo?
He was smoking his
course,
pyro.
We look miserable on there as
I
well.
was standing next to you, I kept looking at you, you were just like that.
Aye, we were miserable at that point.
It was a
though.
dreadful game, though, wasn't it? Like, chatting the game, it was.
The photo of me and
Oh.
him is when Gale's getting subbed off, and was it Yoslu that came on?
Yeah.
And everyone's just looking at the pitch like this. Like,
It was weird that.
If it had moved along a bit, because I was sitting next to you, I was going ballistic at that point because I couldn't believe that substitution happened. Like, I couldn't believe Murphy was still on the pitch and he didn't go Yoslu and Gale up front.
That last 20,
He's
or
off
probably
again,
the last
sorry.
20, I mean longer than that, I was just like that.
what's your
Just
problem?
did a twice,
What's your
not
problem?
even
Murphy?
like
It's a silver
realising
price
what was
tag.
going on.
No.
Do you think he's worth 12 million yet?
No, even he's not, man. But that's not the point, though. In that particular game,
I'm just trying to get you loads
I
of
know you
views.
are. I know you are. But in that game, I thought Gale worked his arse off. He was trying his best. We'll give him nothing at all in that game. Like, it was awful performance from start to finish. But
Who,
when
by
you-
Murphy?
No, the whole team.
Oh, by
You know,
everyone.
I actually thought Drummond played alright in the
No, I
Celtic
think we cancelled Liverpool out quite a bit in the first, like, 30, 35
Oh, no,
minutes.
well, that's why I was annoyed.
Because we're getting so frustrated, Liverpool.
Well, that's what I mean.
Mate.
What minute's that on? 26. Oh, you got 4 minutes.
Press a button on it.
I was annoyed about
Stop it now and do it again.
what I meant right at the start was I thought we were going to be 4-5-0, and I was so annoyed when I come out because I honestly think we could have gotten something out of that game because I thought Liverpool were crap.
Eh?
We got one behind the ball.
No, you want to call?
No, I'll have a
Oh,
coke,
yeah.
please, mate.
Okay.
Get me one.
I thought Liverpool were no, I'm alright, mate. I thought they were crap, them. Honestly, I did. I thought they were terrible. They had
Yeah.
loads of gears they could have went through. Don't get us wrong on that one, but them were, as you say, were just cancelled. It was a really boring game for all of it. Really.
I don't
there
think
was-
they didn't have to go into fifth gear,
Well,
though,
they-
really, did
oh,
they?
no, it was
They
like
get
it
off
was,
in the second.
There's
Well,
no reason not to.
I don't think, I don't know whether it was we didn't let them, but it was just
We set up like
both
our
teams.
set up
Well,
against Man City.
Salah for me was the difference between the teams. Every time that ball went to him, he looked dangerous.
We were awful. Like after, be honest, we were terrible. Like it was.
Do you
as if we
think
didn't-
we're terrible?
Oh God, we were awful.
What I
I
couldn't
didn't think we were.
understand.
I
I
just
thought
don't
we were-
think we're.
I don't think we're terrible.
I wouldn't say we were terrible, but I wouldn't say we didn't. We didn't do anything.
Didn't do
Yeah,
it.
no, I think the game plan was similar to Man City.
Diarmi had that.
not
What a
the way to
save,
play,
mate,
though.
off that one at half time of Diarmi when you.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
What a save.
that could have changed the game.
You never know
because,
why.
You know,
Which
it
is
was only
often
1-0
so
at
little,
that point. It had been they probably had maybe a couple of chances. Obviously scored.
Them did nothing notable either, apart from the goals. Like, but Marino, he lost the ball. How many
Marino
times in
was-
that game?
Marino's like
Terrible. He's
God,
gone
a
backwards.
different
and
player since he came
strange,
back
like,
from
I mean-
injury. A different player.
I didn't think the tactics helped them though, because I was saying to Mark, because he was next to us, them had three in centre midfield, so they had Chamberlain, Henderson, and Chan, and we only had Diarmi and Marino. So
Yeah,
every
every
time
time.
one of our centre midfielders got the ball, it
Three
was
of them.
just on him straight away. And I was like, and I loves to play this number 10 role, I get that, but for me, as much as I don't like Hayden, but I thought maybe just, you know, I'll play the three in midfield just to match what they're doing.
Is any player that you like?
Do you know what I mean?
I love Lascelles, and I like
See,
Dummett as well, and Dummett gets a hard time.
I'd put Lascelles at fault for both of our goals. Like
I haven't seen them again in truth.
No. To be fair, I didn't even see them when it happened.
You just go.
you did, but it was
mate,
just a
I was so pissed, man. Like, me hangover kicked off in the... Like, me hangover set in about the 30th minute of the game. Like, I was ready to go home.
To be fair, I didn't see them.
The funny thing that when we got back on the bus to come home, literally you sat on the bus and within a second of sitting down, you were
Sleep.
just like that,
Going on.
like
Man.
gone.
I woke up about 20 minutes into the journey and I went at him, I just
You,
looked at him.
you didn't. I was sitting there shaking you,
Oh, yeah.
waking you up.
But I woke up at some point, I just looked at him and I looked to see if the bin wasn't near him and I went, passes that black bag, I'm going to be sick. So I was sat with the black bag in front of us, like thinking I was going to be sick, then I just kept going, just go to sleep, you'll be alright if you can't sleep. So I slept the full journey home.
Oh, you did, huh?
Ah, you did,
I
aye.
just wake up and like use fucking photos and photos of us.
We were watching the boxing.
Boxing, I killed it. But aye, it was just shite. It was a shite game. And I looked at when we made that substitution, Gale like pulled up his socks as if like I felt. It's ridiculous to say this, but I felt like when I looked at Gale as if he was like, oh, mint, I finally got some big guy up front with us because them had Van Dijk, man. He looked about 10 foot tall, man. against next to Gale, especially in the second half because it was like Van Dijk was in front of where we were. I couldn't believe how big he was, and poor Gale was this long ball every time. There was no chance. Yossel was coming on, and Gale like pulled his socks up and then looked up again. It was his number, and he literally seen him look at the sky and go, "For God's sake!" And then he went off, and I was like, "Oh, just."
You were probably hoping Murphy was going off, were you?
Aye, because I wanted to be fair. I did.
I mean, because we'd talked about a while back now of giving Murphy a chance in the number 10 role because of what he'd done at Norwich and stuff like that.
We spoke about it a lot. We said Richie for that great as well.
But
I picked and choose
the game, and I think it's maybe because of the formation and obviously the way they're playing, but the game just passed them by because it was going from our back four. It was missing out with midfield half of the time because they couldn't get in the game.
You're right, and that's why I'm not meaning this as a negative towards Murphy. That's not his fault that we're just banging it up front. Like we're not playing in any style of a game that no, I'm not.
Did it, Zeri?
You were trying to. I seen you nodding. No, that. We don't play to his strengths at all.
No.
Like it's just this long ball crap, man. And Murphy, he can't play like that, man. It's just.
But in theory, we're trying to because we're trying to play
No.
on the counter attack.
There's a difference between a ball over the top and a long ball.
Oh, I know.
A ball over the top with a bit of intent
Said
to get the defence
theory,
turned. We just
not
seem to
in-
play it up to the front, man.
Yeah.
Do you
So
know what I
like
mean? That's Gale up
a
front.
Williamson long
No
ball.
chance, man. Aye, like this little floating
I never
horror.
think.
Aye,
And
just
Van
point it there.
Dijk, 75 million pound, man. This guy's going. This is literally the easiest night I'm ever going to have in my life. This like, and it's just shite. It's just for me. I know it's a tough game, and I expected to get beat 5-0. I did, but I still expect at times to be better than that. Like,
I tell you one thing, I was reading, I don't know if he actually said it because I haven't seen any like post-match interviews around. But did Rafa say that he was going to do more attacking football against Southampton?
Yes. Yeah.
Did he?
Yes.
That pisses me off, that, you know.
Why that?
He said
Why not just go for
we're
it?
at home and we'll have to.
Like,
is that
Well,
why?
he didn't say that.
it's just
He
the way
didn't
that,
say
I think I've
as
seen
in
it
the
like
way, that he was saying, all right, well, we'll not do that against them, but we'll do it against Southampton. It was in the context of because
we
we're
need
at
to win
home,
this
we
game.
need to win the game and stuff like that. Then
What I did like, I didn't see all of it. What he did say is that he looked very unhappy about the performance, and I think it was that keeping them quiet. We're actually kind of done that all right, but when we got the ball, we were so poor.
did nothing.
And I think that's
didn't
where he
know
was
what they
annoyed. Every time we got the ball, we lost it within about.
I
10
can only
seconds.
remember
right,
that
And that's not
one
good.
chance from
Diarmi?
Diarmi from that. I cannot remember any.
No,
No, I
Atsu
can't.
done
Any other
nothing on
thing.
that side of the field. Kennedy,
He's
see how
got nothing,
frustrating
mate.
Kennedy got because Kennedy had a shot from the halfway line because he was so pissed off. That was really towards the end of the
But
game.
again,
He
it's
just had a
because
shot.
the ball just wasn't. We weren't using the ball at
At
all.
all, we weren't moving for each other, we weren't using the ball, and Kennedy was so pissed off with the last 5 minutes, and he just smashed it. It went sailing out for a goal kick, and he literally just put his hands up and go, well, fuck this, like, no one's moving for us, I'm sick of it, and I just thought, it's been wonderful.
That's why you need somebody to get a hold of the game and actually, do something, like try and keep possession for a bit or something like that.
Well, John Joe
You know,
would have
knocking
probably
around
have done
or-
that. He would have.
John Joe?
Aye,
I
my
want
mate,
first name basis
aye.
now.
Of course,
like, he's had a
Yeah.
couple of good games.
You'd
Aye,
expect,
there's
you
a
know,
boy
he's not in the team, but why
Why?
Mourinho, who's a good passer of the ball, why didn't he do something like that? Get it?
What I would say, in my opinion,
I don't
on
know what's happening with
him,
him,
he
like.
did try every time to get the ball down and look to start something. He wasn't just kicking, rushing like the rest of them were. He was trying, but just unfortunately for him, he lost it every time. But again, I didn't think the formation helped with at all against him, to be honest. Like,
Nah, they were overrunning midfield, like we were discussing,
overrun, man.
but
Totally overrun. Atsu, man, coming inside, you must have said that about 110 times. He's playing like a right centre midfielder half the time. And I know Rafa constantly is compact. Atsu at times is like a centre midfielder. It was just unbelievable. I just couldn't believe it, mate. Like,
but then they're two white players just. And every team that
They're
plays
left back, man.
they just stay there. They just stay there.
He's a good player, isn't he?
he's class, isn't he? Their left back was on the edge of our penalty.
Well,
as
he
well.
must have had at least 3 chances himself.
Aye, constantly, and it kept going to him.
Constantly,
and
aye,
Atsu
he was in the area all
had
the
to
time.
run outside. Took him forever because he's playing so far inside. It was just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Yedlin, I never seen him get forward once in the game. I never ever seen him get beyond Atsu once in that
Well, that's
game.
because they were playing 4-3-3 and
We were playing
front
5 at the back,
three
weren't we?
were playing quite wide, weren't they?
I'll tell you what,
We were playing better football when
This is shit.
there wasn't 5 at the back. So when we were like dropping a 5 at the back,
Somebody said that we were playing 5-4-1, but
we were playing 5 at the back. Like every time they
We were
attacked,
playing 110,
we
I
dropped
thought.
back.
yeah.
Shite, man.
Like even if they
It's like the
picked
City
the
game
ball up
on
in
it.
their
It's like the
half,
City game at home.
our
Same
wing
sort of
backs
like
just
style of
dropped.
play.
So it was like a solid line of 5.
191. That's what I felt like to me.
Aye.
So it was just shite. But I don't want to be too negative because what are we really expecting against them? Yes, I've just said at the start we're going to get beat 5-0. So what was I really expecting?
You expect to
Just
give it a go.
You've got to give it a
that
go.
was
Like,
it. Give
that's
it a go, aye. And there's just out there, wasn't there? There's out there, man.
I don't know who said it, but like, if you think like this is all like, what if sort of thing, but if they do get taken over, Rafa gets the money, gets all these players. He said, "Is he going to do the same thing next season if they're in the Premier League? Is he going to go to games like Liverpool and go, oh, it's a write-off game. I'm just going to play 4-5-1
on this later on.
Oh, have we? You know what I mean? I think it's one of them things. You just think, well,
We've spoken about it before.
just go for it. Just go for games like that. The write-off games. So why not? You know you're going to lose. So just.
Right now, you're probably looking at it.
I just don't.
I know
think
people are
Rafa's-
looking.
Don't
He's
think
probably.
got quality to
Looking
do
at
it.
goal difference,
I
innit?
think
But
that's
so
all he's
tight,
looking at,
isn't it?
because our goal difference isn't as bad as a lot of teams around with.
So maybe,
And I think he's
in
looking at
Rafa
that.
said, he's thinking a 2-0 defeat to Liverpool
Yeah.
isn't that bad.
No. I think that's what.
Should have been 4 though.
The thing is, if you
they
can
had a
pick up-
blatant penalty.
if you can pick
How
up
lucky wasn't the penalty at the end of
one
the
point
game?
there, it can make a difference, can't it?
Exactly.
It's a difference between scraping a draw by playing defensive or getting beat.
Yeah, but then getting beat 5-0 could make a difference
That's what
as well.
I mean.
You've got to. There's two sides of the coin, isn't there, every time?
Yeah.
So
It's not pretty to watch.
we're all praising the Man City thing, saying we did well because we only got beat 1-0 off Man City. I wouldn't say praise,
Chelsea
but
did the same thing.
I know.
Against Man City the other
I
night.
tell you what, that was. God.
But we played far better against Man City playing that than they did.
Hey,
against
see,
that
Chelsea.
that's
footage with
Sky.
it, where they're passing to each
aye.
other.
Sky keep playing
It's
over and over
just
again.
walking.
and Fabregas is just walking towards it. That's terrible, that man.
That's the champions.
Premier
That's
League
the
football.
current champions
Aye.
playing against obviously. The
I mean,
now
Man
champions.
City are. I mean, I said it before.
Different
They
gravy
are
on this.
like, but
They'd won the league.
Different gravy, aren't they?
teams,
But
like,
if a team
especially
like-
teams like Chelsea, should be taking the game to them.
100%. Liverpool did it.
Chelsea been
In
poor
fairness
this
to
season,
Liverpool and then beat them. You can't play like that, man. It's ridiculous.
you
If I was a
can't.
Chelsea fan, I'd be absolutely embarrassed.
there's a difference Chelsea doing that and us doing
Aye,
like massive
absolutely.
difference.
As he said,
But
current
they've got,
champions,
that's
man.
what I mean. They've got the quality
It's a
to
bit different, aye.
Even
actually
Hazard,
give it a go.
Hazard kicked off, didn't he? Well, not kicked off, sorry, but he complained about that
Well, I think
poor
Hazard,
performance.
I
He was
think
like, that's a joke.
Hazard, him and De Bruyne are probably the two best players in the league, in my
I agree, aye,
opinion.
definitely, yeah. Yep, 100%.
Better than him. Gosling.
Not better than
Tight
Murphy.
like.
Yeah, close.
Will you leave him alone?
You're always picking on Murphy.
Yeah, I'm only joking.
If you saw me, think, oh, Murphy, can I have a photo with you? Will you sign me tits?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I would definitely say, yeah, I read, like, yeah.
He was going to say, I'll definitely say what
Yeah,
you say.
here's one.
Yeah.
Here's one.
The thing is, I didn't dislike him. I hate that. I didn't dislike him at all. I find it weird that he kind of get in the squad, then starts against Liverpool. I find that strange.
Yeah. Was it like 3 games?
But I think it's probably
completely. I
the-
was just not.
Not in the squad at all.
It's obviously the idea of the game was to play counter-attacking football because you know Liverpool are going to come
I
throw
get
everything
that.
at you.
I get that.
So you expect he's got pace for him.
Got loads
about
of
him,
pace.
so it's
Loads of pace.
that's the only thing I would think is they're hoping to hit them on the break with him getting in behind, but we never look like doing it.
Not once did we look like doing it. Not once. But never mind.
Right, moving on. We're done
I think so.
with Liverpool. Forever.
Aye.
But just have a look at the goals, and you'll see what I mean about Lascelles.
Don't
So
criticise us.
I was disappointed in his performance.
Leave him alone, man. He's the one little bright bit of
Pulled out a position.
hope this season. Southampton coming up.
Must-win game.
Do you reckon?
Must-win
What are the
game.
point of must-win games?
Especially them teams down there around with.
There's
Yeah.
not many more
There's
games.
not many games left.
bigger than this, like.
Not many games left at all.
There's them 3 home games that stick out like a sore thumb, don't they? But
I'm
it's winning them all, which
And we don't
we don't
do well at home against lower.
I reckon
down
Shelby's
teams.
missing again, don't they?
I've heard
he's
different.
I've heard he was in training. Going to be in training this week, and he is in
Running.
training, sorry.
Apparently he's running by
Some are
himself.
saying he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Some are saying he's fine. He'll be back in. He's training. Fuck knows.
Do you know who's not back?
We'll find out on
Slimani.
Friday, won't we?
Aye, he's never ever been back. Slimani?
waste of time. Absolute waste
We
of time
all
signing.
laughed at West Brom, right? When Sturridge got injured, right? Sturridge has been on the pitch for more minutes than what Slimani has.
It's true.
I know it's only about 6 minutes total, like, but
It's,
Wasn't even that, was it?
I did.
It was only 3 minutes.
Like, what? Like,
How long has he been injured for?
he got injured in training 2 weeks before we
But
signed
he
him.
was
didn't
injured prior to that as well.
Yes.
So you think he hasn't played for a long time, so even when he does come back, he ain't going to be match fit.
Nowhere near.
So
Well, look at Kennedy when
by the
Kennedy
time he
first
gets his
came, he
match
was
fit,
match
so
fit.
there's
He
going
was
to
still
be
playing
3 games left.
But he's going to miss the Leicester game because he can't play in that one.
Was it desperation
seems a waste of
signing,
time now.
wasn't it?
It
That's
does
the
seem
thing.
a waste of time, but if he scores a couple of goals in the running,
Oh, it'll be forgotten.
it'll be
aye.
forgotten. We'll just have to judge it at the end. But at the minute, it's not looking great, is it? At the minute, it's disappointing that he's injured again. Apparently, he was doing extra sessions as well, so it seemed really positive that he was coming back. But then he's got that injury by doing extra sessions. But
And then your mate's banging in another 2 tonight for fun.
all right,
On the same subject, this fella up here, Mirovic.
yep. Bang on
Let's put it out there. I've said this to you beforehand, right? Fair enough, a lot of people don't like him. The fan base is probably 50-50. A lot of people just didn't rate him at all, right? But we've sent him out on loan. He's still a Newcastle player, right?
On paper.
Well, he is, aye.
He is.
But where he's parent club, so he's employed by Newcastle United. If he's scoring goals in the Championship, right? He's still scoring goals. That's what he's been loaned out to do, score goals. Why have we got fans saying, well, it's only against this team, it's only against that team? We've loaned him out to improve and to score goals. So if he's scoring goals, you give him credit.
You can only score goals against the teams that are
The
put in
same,
front of them, really,
exactly,
can't
the
you?
same
So-
pricks have probably got an Adam Armstrong poster on the wall, man, saying he banged in 55 for
Aye.
know where he played.
Like,
for.
why have
It's
we
a joke,
got
man. It's a joke, man.
why have we got to
Sorry, I
like?
went over the top there,
There's
didn't I?
nobody out there.
I'm taking the
that's
piss.
got an Adam Armstrong
You know us by now, though.
poster on
I
the
am
wall.
very sarcastic,
Even his
right?
mum.
But it's true though. I used to see people retweeting that you see this goal by Armstrong.
Yeah.
It's playing Shields, man. But who cares? He scored a goal. He's on loan. He's doing a good job. He's scoring goals, etc., etc. When Mirovic does it, hell on.
But why are we trying to like as a fan base? Why are some fans trying to belittle him for scoring goals? Like,
Because they've got an agenda
good
against him,
idea.
because they don't like him, therefore they need to
Yeah.
pick fault in everything he does.
you're not a big Mirovic fan, are you? Izzy?
No.
But
I'm not a big fan, but when I look at it now, we should have kept him really.
He's more
at
useful
least,
than what's
at least
the
give him a
ball he's been,
chance.
isn't he?
Oh yeah, of course. And Hoslu and Perez. There's only really Gale who kind of shows his worth now and again, and he looks like the type of person who can get a goal. But
I like Gale, mate, to be honest.
I've said it time after time after time. He doesn't fit into the formation that we play with.
well,
we don't
didn't
play
he
to his
come out
strength.
when he went and he's basically said that he didn't play to Rafa's. Like,
They've both said it,
it's
Mirovic
Rafa's
said it and Rafa
formation
said
and
it.
it's like his
That's why
style of
Hoslu
play,
gets
and that's
picked up week
yeah.
in week out is because he goes on there and he does a job for the team.
But
doesn't go
at
out
the
there to
same
score
time,
goals.
a manager shouldn't have just one style. Surely he should be able to fit around someone like one player like Mitrovic.
especially keeping the likes of Mirovic there for even
Bring him on.
the dying
15,
minutes,
20
last
minutes.
10,
I just,
15
I
minutes.
don't know. I haven't seen it when he's played for us. I've really not seen it. He had a stage in the Championship for a few games. He got a few goals, but
When
I
we
think
when we
when-
go out wide and put crosses
Yeah.
into the box.
He said that when we that Rafa night when we went, and he said that if we were a team that could be attacking, free flowing, get crosses in the box, he'd score loads of goals. That's exactly what Fulham are.
Yeah,
Fulham
exactly.
are a great footballing side. Every goal I've seen has been a cross.
Yeah.
Now,
Except the one he made himself where he
you know,
who can cross the ball for us?
be realistic, and I'll be very honest here. Since Rafa's come, we haven't really played very well. Good football, have we? Even in the Championship, we were poor to watch. Weren't we? We've never really.
It's been very
Well, like
steady
well, like
football.
in the Championship, it was like nicking 1-0 wins, wasn't it?
Sometimes
It was like that
we did
most
have
of the
one of
time.
them. We beat. Was it 6 now? We beat someone and.
QPR. Wasn't it?
QPR, about third, fourth game in.
Aye,
something like that, wasn't it?
don't get us wrong, we have played, but bearing in mind the amount of games that Rafa's been here, I reckon you could pick maybe 4 or 5 that you've thought, you know, he's actually played really well a day. It's
West
few
Ham?
and few, West Ham, it's few and far between. A lot of them have been, you've come away and go, oh, it wasn't very good, but we've won, great, happy days. And I think if he come back in the summer, like it doesn't go away for a permanent move, and we do improve the team if we stay up, obviously, I think he could be good. Because we might play a bit more attractive football.
You
know
need
what I
the
mean?
players in the team to
you
to
do.
play.
But
to
he
his strength.
couldn't.
That's the-
As much as I wouldn't have gotten rid of him, I do believe he wouldn't have fitted into how we play. Look at Liverpool away. Well, he wouldn't have scored there. No, Shearer wouldn't have scored if I'd played Liverpool. Honestly, because of the style we play, just isn't. It doesn't help a target man. Do you know what I mean? To get a goal.
That's it. People want him to get in the team now, but would he have made that massive difference? I don't think he would have.
Unfortunately, no.
Not with who's around him.
Aye.
Not when you've got.
We've got Matt Ritchie who'll never take a player on.
Yedlin can't-
Actually,
Yedlin
tell a
can't
lie,
cross a ball.
He did actually.
Atsu can't cross a ball.
I've seen him once take a player on, which he did against Bournemouth. He went past the fullback and he actually put a cross in the box and was scored.
Do you mean Bournemouth?
The only balls that Rich is going to get is back to goal. for 90 minutes. You know what I mean? And he may get one chance.
And that's
if
why
he misses it, he gets crucified.
we said loads of times is he needed somebody to play off him. Because it's those little chest downs, the flick-ons and stuff like that for somebody to get on the end.
Never ever tried Mitrovic, Gildy. Never tried it.
And he did
he'd
for a
gone
little
on-
bit, aye.
They scored the last game of the season together.
Aye.
Mitrovic headed through the Gale. That was when he did the,
Aye.
they never won the league from that moment anyway. But it's, as you say, they were actually giving them a run to a front. And we used to say this a lot. Like, you're playing like the Barnsley's at home and people like that, and we never played to a front. And I'm thinking, like, surely we're
Crazy,
playing
right?
some real awful sides here. But
You feel as if you need that little bit extra from Rafa, don't you? Like to take a risk now and again. And it's very safe on a Rafa. You know what you're going to get, don't you? Each week. You're gonna. Rafa's gonna set his team out to be defensive, like solid defensively, isn't he?
Yeah.
The last thing he wants to do is concede a goal, right? He'll have.
Well, we'd never go to Anfield and have a 4-3, would we?
Nah,
No.
no. In fairness, I remember we went on that really bad run of form, and actually I think he went to 4-4-2 over them periods of games, and we were getting hammered every week.
Yeah.
And then we says, if we can just go back to being hard to beat again,
We did.
Solid
We started
defensive.
drawing games,
and we
didn't
have
we?
done that. And I'm not, and I know it sounds like I'm just beasting Rafa here. Like, he's a lot more clever than I am. All I'm saying, at certain times, I would like to see, like, for example, that we were 2-0 down against Liverpool, and he brought on, I would have loved to have seen him bring on Mitrovic at that point. I'm not saying anything would have happened, by the way, but he brought on Joslu and took off Gale. I just think, like, that's just shit, man. Like, I would love to just...
It depends which way it goes, though, because then we could have, as we said before, easily have then
3-4.
lost that game
Yeah.
4-5-0. Because of the
Possibly,
way
but-
that they were attacking.
It's funny though, you look at the Bournemouth game as well though, why did he make any changes?
I know.
There was
So,
just no
say
need.
it's- I'd be controversial there and say that he made the changes because they actually picked up the pace and were putting us under a lot of pressure. Therefore, he
then
reacted
what-
to make us.
But we had
more
no
solid.
outlet. As soon as Gale went off the field, we had...
It was gone, and it was like backs
Nothing.
against the wall, and then
Aye. And we aren't good enough to
had
go
no
back
option.
against the wall.
Aye,
We're
we're
not
not,
good
aye,
enough to do
exactly.
it. Against anyone, we're not good enough to do it. Have to keep some sort
just
of
keep it
attacking
the
option.
side, just keep the same.
But anyway, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, I suppose that's football, isn't it? I mean, everyone's got an opinion and a thought of how they should have done it or whatever. But it is frustrating at times when you see, like, some games he'll not make any changes, and then there's other games when we're in control and he makes 2 changes or something. You're like, why? You know what I mean?
It's always in reaction to a situation, though, isn't it?
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. There'll be games probably that I'm forgetting where he's made a change and we've won the game.
Oh, aye.
Maybe,
He was a tactical
you
genius when he done the Brighton game, wasn't he, last season?
Aye.
It's been a couple of times this season at home where I can't remember what it was, but made a change.
I was gonna say,
Thanks for that.
Well, at home we haven't
Come on,
won
what
3 games.
apart from Man United, we hadn't won in like 8 or 9 or something, like, you know what I mean?
It was
But
like October, wasn't it, or something?
Aye, that's bad gone, like.
That's what it was.
Right. While we're on a subject like this, shall we talk about our little ex-player who was commentating? Well, not commentating, but he was a
JJ.
pundit for the game for BT Sports.
JJ.
There was one of our ex-players there commentating on the game. He came down pitch side at half-time.
Who was it? He would have been a prick as well.
Oh,
No,
was he
wasn't.
not? Who was it?
Can you
You
remember,
were
like,
pissed, weren't you?
you can't even remember
The
that.
whole of the bloody...
Oh! Beresford!
Aye.
Yes.
Oh, John.
The whole end was singing his
Sorry,
singing
John,
his
you're not a
name.
prick. Sorry.
John Beresford was there.
Aye?
Aye, he was standing on the bloody pitch.
You started clapping with?
Was he for who?
Because everyone go, Johnny. He
American
wasn't playing.
BT Sport.
I was
No,
going to say,
was
Was it
surely
BT?
he wasn't.
For BT, wasn't it?
No, he wasn't BT.
It
You
was
would have been
NBC.
on.
Couldn't
No,
be.
Him and
It was NBC.
you would have been on the dodgy channels.
It was NBC, it was the American one. I've seen the mic.
BT won't get him John Beresford, like
Aye.
Steve McManaman and friggin'...
He came out twice, didn't he?
Well, he was out.
And was I just seeing double vision?
No, they were there before the game, obviously talking about the match, and then he was there. at half
You're
time.
reading this.
He got a very,
I'm reading it.
but he got a very good welcome.
Right.
I'm not going to read this. Don't read the start part.
Oh, no. Right. But we'll do the backstory with how this came about, right? Jenas was basically saying that how he hadn't, in his mind, fulfilled his career. And he hadn't had as many England caps as what he would have liked to have. And he would have liked to have done more in his footballing career than what he had done. And he seemed to put it down to playing for Newcastle United and being up against other players like the likes of Lampard and Gerrard, which is fair enough. Like picking those players out.
See, I
You
see
defend
this.
him, I'm going to glass you.
I'm not defending him because But I think he
Richard
was
got
kind
him.
of led
Good,
into the answers he gave because of who was in the studio and the fact that
Right.
Gerrard was
Well,
sat,
then he needs
sat
to get
next
some
to him.
bollocks, doesn't he? Right?
That's the biggest problem about him. That you just,
Yeah.
as a person, as a
He ain't got
character,
them.
you
He's
just
got no.
don't
Oh,
care.
he's the most bland person ever. But let's read his quotes, right?
What he was saying was bang on about himself. But then when he tried to then go on to justify it, and I can't remember who it was that was doing the.
It was Murphy. Jake. Was it
Humphrey,
Jake
isn't it?
Humphrey? Jake Humphrey.
Jake Humphrey. God, didn't he?
Was him asking the questions?
Yeah.
Wasn't
Ah, yeah,
Jake
he's
Humphrey.
the whole show.
it? Him, and then there was
Well, you gotta read
Gerrard.
them out, yeah?
Right. Shall we get the quotes?
Go on, Chrissy, then.
Right. Jenas talking about his career in his career. Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah,
His career in general. I'm not bitter about it. I do live with some regrets. I didn't achieve what I set out to achieve in the game, which never sits well with you as a professional. There were moments in my career when I just didn't do enough. Right there.
Spot on.
Fair enough. Right. End it there. Right. Jake Humphrey says, "Why is that? Is it the people around you?" So he's pushing for an answer, right? Then Gerrard jumps in
Ridiculous.
and says, "I think it definitely helps you if you are playing in a Champions League side and you are shining on a midweek like Frank Lampard, playing for Chelsea. If he nicks a goal, he is bound to have an advantage when it comes down to England selection over Jermaine. If he is playing at Newcastle, with all due respect, it sometimes depends what players are around you and what club you are at." Jenas replies, "I felt that a lot when I was with England. You could feel kind of the winners in the dressing room. I always felt when I came back from England," meaning England training, "my level was kind of went up. And then I could always feel them dwindle back with Newcastle as the weeks went on. So like training with England was such an intense level and everybody wants to be in the team. Then I would come back to Newcastle and I would be up here, miles ahead of everybody. And then literally, because the demand wasn't as high at Newcastle, it was with England, my standards dropped and dropped and dropped.
I'd love to know when he was the highest person in the team.
To the point where you bring yourself back down to Newcastle level. Whereas Stephen would be like Liverpool, pointing up. So Liverpool are up here, and Frank Lampard would be up here, and I'm with Newcastle. Right? Let's go back, right? Forget about Newcastle United now, which is what these fucking idiots in the studio are implying. They were thinking about Newcastle United now.
So that so that's the thing is they're looking at Newcastle of recent history.
Yes.
But
Who
in
signed
all,
him?
In
Who
all,
signed him?
In all fairness, his last season at Newcastle, we were shit.
Right. His first
So
three
that's
seasons,
probably
or 2.5
that's
seasons.
probably where he's looking at that because in his first few seasons he wasn't an England regular, but in his the latter stages of his career here when he was in the England squad and that kind of thing, then yes, he probably did have that impression because he was coming back in.
Right, well,
was Souness.
let him read this out.
This lad who on Twitter, he's called Dennis Baldwin. He put a message on Twitter today, got quite a few obviously responses from it, and he put, "Fun fact: Jermaine Jenas played more times in a 5-year period for England while at Newcastle than he did 12 seasons after he left. Another fun fact is he played 32 European games in 5 years at St James's Park and 25 in the 12 years after he left. So
Bullshit, man.
he achieved more in his career at Newcastle than he did anywhere else.
It's true because he wouldn't have got into the England team had it have not been for the fact.
Let's
that
just think
he was
about
playing at
all
Newcastle.
of the people he's disrespected, right?
Bobby
From these
Robson
comments, right?
signed him.
Bobby
think he
Robson
did-
signed.
That's what I'm saying.
He was
He did
18-year-old.
say something though along the lines of when Robson left. So it
Exactly,
was more like
which
when
is-
Souness was there.
Yeah, and
So
that's
you've got to think at
that's
that
what I'm
period of
looking
time
at. We were
was shit.
We were
But
shit.
Yeah,
But-
but let's
but
look
he-
at
he's-
that
but
2.5
he's- yeah, but
seasons.
he's not looking-
He's just
But that's
completely
not what- that's-
disregarded them in
Well,
that
that's
2.5
not what
seasons.
he's looking at, and the point is that that's what a lot of the problem that led him to leave is because he didn't like playing in the goldfish bowl.
Yeah, but coming out with shit like that, he's a fucking idiot. He's just going down the same track as what Dyer has, what Bellamy has. Newcastle United and Sir Bobby Robson made him. Right?
100%,
He was an
100%.
18-year-old kid that came in, and he was fucking hoiked straight into European football. He needs to fucking count his blessings coming to
I
Newcastle
think what
United.
it boils
that
down
fucking
to
prick.
is the fact that unfortunately he was in the same England squad as Steven Gerrard.
Exactly.
And
He was
he
never
was
good.
fucking.
That's
he was
what-
never.
never
He was
good enough.
never in their
I'll
league.
put that on
Never
Twitter.
been in their
I'll put
league.
that. what
But it wasn't
Jenas
just
is
fair. You
forgetting.
also had Paul Scholes in there.
Yeah.
The thing is Lampard.
Even
Lampard
when-
and Gerrard couldn't even get in the team.
If he's comparing himself to people like that, even when he was at Newcastle, when Robson was there, he wasn't
He was
scoring
never-
goals like them.
He was never getting
No.
in.
I remember him scoring one raker against was it Man
Man
United?
U.
When was he doing the effect of what Lampard does and what Scholes does and what Gerrard done for their club? He didn't do it. So you can't put yourself in that bracket and say I've missed out on these opportunities. You missed out on the
wasn't
opportunities
good
because you're
enough.
not good enough.
He wasn't
It's
good
simple
as
that.
other players around.
And I think if he
that's the
seriously
point that he was
if he
trying to
sits
make,
down
I
and thinks
guess,
about
wasn't
it, is he probably knows that himself.
But wait, he's coming back and saying, when I came back from England, like Newcastle level was here. How?
But that's what I'm
but-
saying though. In the last season he was here, it was.
Aye, but
He's not looking at that bigger picture of
course he's
everything that's gone before it to get him
He's
into
sat in that studio
position.
and he's dropped his arse because Gerrard sat next to him. That's what he's done. He's absolutely bottled
Because
it, and
he's
rather
there
being a
looking
man
at-
and speaking about it, he's fucking crumbled and thinking, no, I played under an absolute fantastic manager, and some of my best footballing days. In fact, all of his best footballing days were probably at
Well, he
Newcastle
didn't
United.
know when he went to Spurs.
Well, he played in the Champions League 3 out of 4 years or something that he was here. You know what I mean? We finished third, twice,
He played
fourth.
against some of the
Like,
best players in the world.
Aye, Barca, Milan's all.
And you've got fucking Gerrard the daft shit saying, well, the players around him, the players that you're against in the Champions League, he was fucking doing that.
I know, that's what I know. I know you.
I tell you what, it sums up there is what Gerrard's basically said is that it is what everyone thinks about England. It is
who you play for.
It's who you play for. And that's what it boils down to. It's not
I
about
didn't like
anything
his.
else. It's about.
I didn't like his comment there when he said, "I think it definitely helps if you're playing in the Champions League side." He
That's
was,
what I mean,
man.
that's
He was for
But that's
3
what I'm
years,
saying,
man.
But that was 15 years ago.
What's Jenas talking about then?
In fact, more
He's
now.
ta-
It's
but that's
more
what
than that now,
Jenas.
isn't it?
That's what
Yeah,
Jenas is
25
talking
years
about
ago.
15 years ago, isn't he? That's what Jenas is talking about, isn't he? He's talking about 15 years ago. So I know Gerrard might not remember because he's a prick. He might not remember that. No, but he might not remember that we were in the Champions League 15 years ago. That's fair enough. But
That we're talking about 1998.
his comments are bollocks. And then Shearer hung him out to dry. Shearer said,
He did, aye.
like, we apologise then for my performance and our teammates' performance. I wish he had also had Robson in there, but maybe he didn't want to
He was
really go.
at that time.
Was Shearer was in the England squad
Yeah, aye.
at the same
But
time.
at that time, he was playing
So-
with
So was Rob Lee.
international footballers. Like, everyone in that Newcastle team was probably now an
Rob
international
Lee was a
footballer.
far better player
Yeah,
than
Gary
him, and he
Speed.
Well,
couldn't
Gary's
get in.
Solano.
playing Robley, he wasn't even getting in, man.
That's what
He couldn't even get in.
So yeah, Robert
Robbie,
Lee was
Laura
hell of a
Roberts
better
playing at
player,
that time.
Couldn't get in.
Woodgate was there at the time, probably.
Given.
Right, given, aye. He's a prick, man. It's a
Titus
joke.
Bramble.
I mean, I could be
Aaron
wrong.
Hughes.
He
Aaron
did
Hughes in
get,
that.
he did get England caps.
Did he?
I still reckon he might be a bit like after he said that and seen the backlash. And
I don't think he's been on social
thing
media
is,
since.
Have you not seen what he put on the day?
No.
He put on saying, "Seen the beast from East gone" or something. And then he had like a lovely house, like he had like look absolutely lush, and he's like peeking behind the door saying, "Has the Twitter storm passed now as well?" And he was like, just like these like shitty shades on. He's like peeping his head on the door.
Oh, shut the fuck up, man, you fucking
So
arsehole.
yeah, I still think though. I think he might think, you know, I shouldn't have really said that. Like maybe I have. It's one of them, innit? You know,
I
don't think he meant the way it is came across.
maybe not. I
because
hope. Well, but he
I
said
think
it
like
to
you see, he's looked at the latter stages of his career at Newcastle and thought he probably there would have been occasions when he went to the England camp, and you would have had Gerrard, Lampard, and all them type of players, and they probably had that persona that we're Champions League players,
Yeah.
and they probably would have
Which is
segregated
understandable.
themselves, and they would have been all pals, and they would have been on that section. John Terry, the lot of them, and then the likes of Jenas, and I'm trying to think of who else at the time, say like Trevor Sinclair, people like that. They would have just been them people who come into the squad and thought, oh well, we're in the England squad, we might get a cap, we'll probably get on the bench, we might get a 10-minute run out. But they knew that they weren't going to think. But then he'll go back from England, and he'll come and he's got to go back into that Newcastle side that's run by Souness at the time, which consists of like Babayaro and Boomsong and people like
But
that.
let's remember, in that season, did we make the quarterfinals of UEFA?
Aye, but that was
And also the semi-final of the FA Cup. So you're still playing against good fucking... No, that was the season he left.
in the semi-final.
Aye.
But even but even if right, so he has
He's
a
still
bad
playing
season.
European football that last season.
He has a bad season as soon as right, fair enough, right.
But we're shit in the league.
What about the other 12 years, like? So what about after that then? So what about all these other when he was playing for
Well, that's why
Tottenham?
he went
Well,
to
that's what
Tottenham,
it's saying.
obviously, with
Mid-table Tottenham.
He had more European games at Newcastle
Aye.
than he
So
did
he's went away
in his
in-
entire career after
been
that.
even
the way
shot.
he's looking at it is he left Newcastle and he's in his career has nosedive from that point.
Yeah, it did.
There's no doubt about it. And that's what he's looking at, looking back saying, I let myself down in my career. However, the way it came across and because of the way the questions have been put and who's been in the studio, it's then put a different spin on things.
Because he's got 8 bars.
He's made himself look like an absolute dickhead.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
If he'd came out and said that, yes, I know what I've achieved before them, because the whole point of what he was saying wasn't about belittling Newcastle. It was about belittling himself and how his performances hadn't been good enough. His attitude, his performance wasn't good enough.
Well, it started off like
And
that.
then got-
It started off like that, then it seemed to blame everyone else.
Spun into
He should have shut his mouth at that point. Because he read out his first quote to the end of the day.
Yeah.
When he said, I didn't do enough. Thanks. Next question.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Then
because then he was led into it by what Gerrard was saying, because Gerrard was looking at the Newcastle
Of now.
he'd been playing against for those 15 years where we weren't good enough. Because what you've got to remember is when we were good like that, Gerrard was a very young player. He wasn't playing week in, week out.
No.
He was just breaking into the England team.
And to be fair, like,
he was when we won the Champions League, though.
with
When we won the Champions over them years.
We were
Liverpool-
finishing above Chelsea and Liverpool.
That's what I'm saying. And Gerrard was playing then all the time.
He was,
But
he
he'll
was
not
just
remember
breaking
that.
into the team.
But he'll not remember that, that's it.
He's
He
not gonna
looks,
remember
he
that.
looks at them over his whole career, like you
course
say.
not.
He's
Yeah,
looking
look
at them
but
and he's-
Gina should be fucking remembering that.
But that's what I know. That's what I'm
Gerrard might not, but
pissed off with.
Gina should be sat there going, like,
we
as
nearly
he's
won the
talking,
league.
he's filming everyone full of shit.
Aye.
As he's talking, he should be thinking, hang on, I finished like 3rd, 5th and 4th in the league.
No.
I can't believe he didn't
that's
say
what
that.
he should have been saying.
But he's not. But he's not thinking. He's not in that mindset. He's in the mindset of, I didn't achieve what I wanted to because
I
this is
wasn't
what
as
happened.
good as everyone
in
else.
my last season at Newcastle, the Newcastle was shit. Therefore, I then went on to move to.
But
to
when
Spurs
Gerrard
and stuff like
Gerrard
that.
said that, he should have said, well, to be fair, the first 3 seasons at Newcastle were challenging for the title, playing Champions League
Well,
football.
yeah,
And then,
aye.
I wouldn't
then
have remembered
Gerrard
that
would be
as a
like,
fan.
well,
I wouldn't have remembered that Jenas had been playing in where we'd finished in those leagues.
Oh,
Never Robson.
Immediately when
but
he said it,
he should remember. He
I
should
did
remember his
immediately.
own career, and he should, like I say, when
'Cause
Gerrard said that, he shouldn't just go back to 1 season under Souness. He should look at his whole Newcastle career and say, well, I did play Champions League football. We nearly won the league a few times. We were definitely challenged for it.
We're top in January, man. I never was gone.
Yeah, aye.
Robson, we're top in January.
And then we got a few injuries to people
Aye.
like Dyer and Bellamy at the time,
Bellamy,
who
aye,
were
yeah, that's right, yeah.
the key players.
It's bollocks. It's bad crap. It's just bad crap.
It is like.
It's bad crap.
He should have.
Hugo Vaiana was better than him.
He should have been more tackled about his answers here, like. But like I say, I just think he's got no bollocks whatsoever, and he's just dropped his ass.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He needs to come out and
Probably
realise.
like you did, and half of them did when they went to England camps and things like that. Probably drop the arse to these elite players because they know that they can't lace the boots.
But he's fucking playing with Alan fucking Shearer.
I know.
He was
Because
really
if Shearer was sitting there and that had been said, for example, I think Shearer would have said, well, actually, when Robson brought you to the
But that's what I'm
club,
saying.
bang, 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 all
But
the
that's
rest of it.
where Gerrard's led him down that
Path.
Ah, he's let him down it, honey.
We've got a.
because Gerrard's got that opinion of Newcastle of that we're not.
I have to
Since
disagree.
Gerrard's broke into the game, we have not been a good team.
Aye, but
That's what Gerrard's
was
looking
that?
at.
How was that? Gerrard played before Jenas did. Jenas was 18 when he played for us. Gerrard was not. Gerrard wasn't 15 when Jenas was 18.
We're talking about 20 years. We're
but-
talking. In fact, we're talking 23 years
Right,
ago.
but you're
2002.
saying there that when
Yeah,
Gerrard
about
was
2002,
good,
aye.
we've always been shit. That's nonsense, that. That is nonsense. We're in the Champions League, man. We're finished above his team when he was fucking captain of Liverpool. We finished above them. We beat them in
What year
Anfield and nobody
did
scored.
What year did they win the Champions League?
2005.
So the year Jenas left.
Aye, so two years before that, we were fucking in the Champions League. But I don't expect Gerrard to remember that we were in the Champions League. However, if Jenas has forgot and he's spieling off about, I'm so sad and I'm begging on the streets and all this shit, when Gerrard then turns around and says, oh, it's all right when you're playing in the Champions League every week type of thing, that's when Jenas should be going,
Well, I was.
actually, I was wearing black and white and we did. 3 out me fucking 4
At the
years.
time,
That's when he should be coming into gear.
Was Lampard at Chelsea at the time? Or was he still at West Ham?
No,
he
he
would
was
have been
at
there.
Chelsea.
Was he at Chelsea?
Aye, he was at Chelsea, aye. Definitely, aye.
But was he even at England regular at the time?
No,
I bet
he
you
did.
fucking wasn't.
Well, no, because Scholes was there, wasn't he?
Aye, I bet you Lampard wasn't playing for England regularly.
Schools, but
I bet you Jenas had more caps at that time than what Lampard had.
Oh, I don't know.
No, you'd have to
I think that was when Scholes started getting left out left wing and they started
try to
trying to
bend
put
in,
them two together because they
Didn't
were
like
mint, they were. And I didn't care what Jenas was doing. He wasn't.
Lampard and Gerrard very rarely played together.
No, well that was the thing. But I'm
Because
sure over them years they were trying and they kept putting Scholes or fucking Nick Barmby left wing because they were in that. They did.
Barmby
They
was
did.
before that, man.
But they were Heskey. They were putting anyone left,
Trevor Sinclair.
and they were trying instead of just being 3-5-2. And but anyway,
Joe Cole as well, didn't he?
aye, they were trying to get them in, but it wasn't working because none of them would hold properly and all the rest of shit. But Jenas would have never gotten in there anyway. That's the bottom line of the story. But it does annoy us though that he hasn't. If he has then forgot completely, that's even worse then. If he hasn't had the balls to say it, that's bad enough. But if he's actually forgot
that
that he's even
that
played
he's never
Champions League
came
football,
out and said
it's even worse.
anything about it since.
If that was me, if I was a professional footballer, and after that I come out, I would make an effort to go on social media. His first post since that is him taking the fucking piss about a Twitter storm disappearing. Fuck off.
You just be lovely.
Like,
You just be lovely because he's getting.
You'd
talked
come
about.
out and you'd be like,
People are
I'm
like-
sorry if I disrespected any Newcastle fans. I owe a lot to Newcastle United, Bobby Robson,
but
and
mate,
the players I was playing
That's
around.
the whole thing. He doesn't believe.
He doesn't
that
give a fuck.
because
He thought, according to that, he thought he was better than fucking half the players there. Not a chance.
did think
He
he
thought he was better than every
is
player
where the
there.
problem sits.
I thought he would have responded back
thinks
to
he
Shearer,
is
like,
better
That's what I thought he would have done.
than he was.
Well, fucking Craig Bellamy tried to respond to Shearer once. I didn't end well, did
Well,
it?
that was more privately, but I honestly thought over Twitter he
He
would have said
works for them. He
something.
works for them, doesn't he? So you'll see him on
He will, won't he?
on
Aye.
Match of the Day and stuff like that.
The next time, you know when you try to pretend to high tea on him? Can you remember that match of the day? I think the next time will be.
I'll
tea
throw a
on him.
fucking punch on him, yeah, like.
Sure, I'll have him like, and he deserves it though. It's a prick. It's just and you know what it is? It's the way the media certainly that way at the minute always seems to be against it. And I'm not normally one of these to bang that drum, but you got Bellamy on fucking or Dennis Wise on the debate, just twisting the knife all the time, and you've got him now doing that.
That's
and
why I
you're
didn't
just
think
like,
it was Jake Humphrey when you said
Jake
that,
Humphrey's
because
normally
he's
really good in
normally
Newcastle
spot
United.
on
He is
on the
normally
post.
really good.
Aye, but
I thought it was somebody else.
But
that
he's a
was-
presenter, so he's
Got the
gonna
answers
push
over, man.
for these.
Push for the answers.
he's-
He doesn't give a fuck. if
his
it's
question's
Steelers.
not exactly like it's not exactly like.
Wait,
Right.
it's Gerald that sets it up.
So this all he says is why is that? Is it the people
I
around
can't
you?
remember who the
It's
other
not
person
exactly
was.
like hang Newcastle out to dry. It's not that. Like it's just
No,
a question.
but
Do you know what I mean?
It's
What you would
Gerrard's-
expect Jenas'
it's
answer to
Gerrard's
be there is
response.
I had some of the best footballers around
Aye.
us. They
As I
made
say,
me a
aye.
better
I had
No.
the
footballer.
England captain, and I had Bobby Robson.
Why is it the
behind
people
him.
around you? I'd say because I had Scholes, Lampard, and Gerrard, who are arguably the three best English Premier League midfielders to come out of the Premier League
Yeah.
since
Well,
it
glad you said
started.
Premier League there.
So, well, Premier League guy, they're not any level.
And even though I was playing Champions League football and was playing at a high level
England.
early on in my career, it still wasn't good enough.
18-year-old
Paul.
who was playing European football.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, the same. Yeah, the
Who did
same
we buy
birthday as
from?
Bobby
Was it
Robson.
Charlton or someone
They didn't
daft
know.
like that?
Forest.
Forest,
So
aye.
we're bringing from Forest as an 18-year-old kid
Expensive-
who had
most
only made his
expensive teenager
debut
at the time.
season.
5.5 million or
5.5
something.
mil, 6 million.
He had just made his debut season the season before we bought him.
His debut was at City
So
United.
he
played well
comes
now.
to a Premier League club and he's straight in European football. He's a fucking idiot. That he's got no bollocks and he's an ungrateful little twat.
Absolutely, right.
Yeah,
100% agree.
I agree with that.
100% agree. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Right, sure, get some questions.
Yeah,
Not
can
done
do,
with
man.
him.
It did piss us off like when I read it. Like.
I think it pissed everyone off. It was a fucking joke, man. I turned scouts down and we go, fucking joke. I'm like that DJ.
I think what it
Everybody
annoys
out.
is, and do you know why it annoys is a little bit more as well is that I know everyone goes on to the Keegan era, and of course that's like it was why I fell in love with the club, and Ginolas and all them. But that Robson team for me, I loved all of them. Like
We
I,
went to St. Malo, didn't
Aye,
we?
do you know what I mean? I was
Time
in
we were
every
like,
game. Do you know what I
we
mean?
were like 15, 16
I
at
loved
the time.
Dyer, I loved Bellamy, I loved all of them, and we
Robert,
were
aye,
absolutely
Solano.
mint. Man.
Did like
But
Dyer.
looking back at
No,
that team now,
but then-
you think it was full of players I thought were better than everyone else compared to look at Keegan's team, and that was a group of players.
Yeah.
But no,
Robson's team was individuals. I thought they could have done better than Newcastle United.
but at that time I didn't know. Like
Yeah,
I didn't
aye.
think that though.
You'd go to games when you'd be like, we're winning 3-0.
We're winning
today.
and we just won all the time.
And you
And
did, aye.
we were like top of Christmas. We were Champions League football often.
You used to come back from goals down and that and win games.
And then these players like Bellamy, Dyers, the players that I really like.
Arseholes. Ungrateful arseholes.
There's only a few like Shearer, Bernard loves her. There is still a
It's
few.
funny
that,
though because
you know,
if you look at Bellamy's career, his best part of his career was at us. Dyer his best was at us. He didn't
100%,
even
aye.
fit anywhere else.
100%.
So why aren't they appreciating that times in the career?
Well, do you know when them got some?
Bellamy would disagree with that going to Liverpool. Like.
It was a
think you've done
joke.
that
It
there.
was a joke for him though. It was shite though.
Made lots of sub appearances, didn't he, when he went out?
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly thought when these were getting some mic time, like your Bellamy's and Dyers, I thought, oh, mint, finally we're going to have someone that's actually going to be on our side.
Aye.
And the fucking sun go down the river.
Let's
I
flip it
couldn't
around,
believe
right? And say Newcastle was a team, say, in the top six, right? They'd be sucking us off. It's a fact that we're where we are, like right now.
So they're seeing
and
the
to a
problems
lot of
and
these
stuff like
these
that.
players, we're a nothing club. We're just a club that's just there.
Meanwhile,
Well,
Brighton and
that's-
Huddersfield are the best teams of all
The thing
time.
is, though,
Aye.
because the likes of those players like Bellamy, Dyer, Jenas didn't care about us as a club. That's the word.
I reckon Dyer's
the
books a
weren't
bit different.
held
Like,
in-
right? His books,
They weren't, idolised or anything like that, or held in really high regard. Yes,
I thought Bellas was like definitely. Bellamy, everyone loved him.
He was a
I loved
cock.
him. Like,
Oh, I think he was
he
up
was,
there.
he was
I think,
class though. He was class.
I liked him for his goal against Feyenoord. That was about it.
Right,
I
let's
loved
get
him,
some
mate.
questions.
Thought he was brilliant.
Talking the tune sends in, John Beresfeld has labelled Dummett as the best defender at our club. What are your thoughts on the statement, and are you in agreement with him?
I haven't got many arguments against it, to be honest. We've only got 2 defenders at the club, in my opinion, and he's one of them.
I'll probably say Lascelles is probably the best defender.
Maybe he is, but
Not on Saturday, was it?
Shut up.
but I think if he says he's the best defender, I mean, the competition is what? Lascelles.
Yeah.
That's all there is. So it's
'Cause
not,
he had-
it's not a million miles off of these
It's
answers.
it's funny because when either of them were out of the team, we seemed to
Struggle.
Look,
Go back
struggle.
before this
So,
season, though, you wouldn't.
Yeah, you'd probably put
consider
him
Dummett,
forward.
would you? As
Nah.
one of the best
Nah.
defenders of the
Definitely
club.
Well, because he doesn't go forward and he hasn't got a foreign name, isn't it? That's why. If you,
No, because he was terrible.
no, it's defending. For years he's
He
been
was
defend. He
He
defends
was
quite well.
constantly caught out of position, coming inside. This.
That's why I ended up with 2 kids.
Hands up. Wait. Hands up this season, he's been a revelation since
Not
he
being
came
caught
back in.
offside.
Well, Rafa helps, like, because Rafa obviously works on the
Exactly.
defence and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I wouldn't say we've had the greatest of managers maybe in the past to help. Like, he's
No.
not the most gifted player in the world, is he? He's not. You have McLaren telling you how to mark and defend. He's putting you on, I look shit. But certainly on Rafa, he's looked a lot better. Like, but I still think he gets a hard time because he doesn't bomb forward and he hasn't got a foreign name.
What do you think? This is
Ever.
a question though. This one sent in by Christopher Wallace. What is
It's got to hear this. on there.
feel about this local players? So Geordie born players get more shit
Welsh.
from fans.
He's Welsh.
Oh, he's Geordie. Do you agree with that? Do you think that we give local lads more shit? Because I've never agreed with that.
Never
Like,
gave Shaw
I
a
thought we'd
shit.
give them more praise about them.
Exactly.
yeah, like a lot
When
of
Andy Curran that came on the scene, like
a lot of
when
people
he
seem to
was
think
scoring
all the
goals, he was
local
like
lads, so we give them shit. But I've never like.
Sammy
We
would,
always
yeah.
want the local lads to
I think
really
so.
succeed.
I always
I think so.
like, you think it's like Sissoko and that they're the ones who got shit.
All right, there you go, Chris. I hope you have you with that
Fucking Welsh
answer.
Thanks
Thanks,
for that,
Chris.
Shit question.
Greatest question I've ever had. That.
Sorry, Chris.
Where did that information come from? Did you just make it up off the top of your head?
Google it. I think Lee Ryan might have done something.
Oh.
He must be running out of
Fucking hell, there
articles.
you are.
Oh well.
Right, Donny sends in. If
Thanks for the picture, Lee.
fingers crossed, we stay up this season, will our players who labelled as being championship players now be seen as Premier League players?
No, because they're not good enough.
You talking about? You must be talking about nearly the entire team. Then.
So he's basically saying everyone's calling a championship team now, but if we stay up, well, we're
But
then
last
there
season,
for a
we
Premier League team.
were a Premier League team.
They'll
in the
have more
Championship.
Premier League experience, I suppose, so you could kind of double. the
It's a
Premier
young
League
team
players.
as well, isn't it?
Very
It's
young.
a very young team. Is it the youngest team in the league?
Yep.
Pretty much.
I'm going to score that.
Right.
But we've talked about that before, haven't we? We went through and there's Yedlin's played obviously for the Mackhams, Spurs in the Premier League.
The two
The
aspects
Celts had
of
a
it is
half a season for us.
we haven't got
The
enough Premier
Shane
League
hadn't
experience
played.
and we didn't score enough goals. They're
Manquillo had played 2-3 seasons. Dummett's played God knows how many.
Right, Jim Joe sends in.
So there's plenty. Quality's just not there.
Big if, but if we get taken over and go down, do you reckon Rafa stays or goes? Gone.
Gone. I don't think he'd do it again, like personally,
Gone.
but you don't know. It's all about money, really, isn't it? And where's he going to go?
If we got took over,
Arsenal.
Just stay or go.
I think if we got took over,
I think it's still like
I think he
In
would.
the championship again.
I do.
If we got took over, I
You think he's still? I think he's
he
gone.
would.
Right.
If we don't get taken over, he's away.
Darryl Thompson sends in.
fuck them
What a
up.
surprise! Hi Daryl.
How is
again.
Darryl?
Darryl.
You're not
Did
cheering
you
us
see
up.
Daryl's picture at the weekend?
No.
All right, look it up.
All right. Darryl sends in. When Rafa goes, do we finally give up on the club under Ashley?
Under Ashley, yes. Well, no, I don't. Yeah, well, that's no,
You never
don't-
give up when you
no
go.
one
man.
gives
You
up
on the
never
club.
give up when you go.
You give up on the hope of having any success anytime soon.
You
don't
piss off. You tell me if Rafa leaves and somebody else comes in and they're sitting like
Yeah, you never give.
sitting like top 6 or something. Not saying that they would.
I
like,
can
but
understand why
You're not
we'll
gonna
be
not
in that
go
frame
back,
of
are you?
mind. Thinking why the fuck should I give it a shite if the owner's not like? But
It's your team at the end of the day. You can't just
I know.
change
Yeah.
your team, can you?
It is
Well,
weird.
unless
People
Still
say
got
that.
it.
Unless you're a
you're a
Mackham.
Sunderland fan.
Yeah, unless you're a Mackemar, you can go and watch Shields
There is
play.
loads of fans that adamant on and like, oh, if he goes, that's it for me and things like that. And I just, no, not for me, I'd be going back. I just
right, Darryl Mitchell Hill sends in a few things. He's got
Did you not just say?
Butter or margarine?
Butter.
It depends.
Depends what it's on, doesn't it? Butter and a crumpet.
Oh, aye.
Aye.
What was it on
If,
last?
Margarine on
if I'm
bread.
spoiling myself, butter.
It looks like you spoil yourself a lot.
Normal
got
days
it.
Marge.
Right, he also sends in marmalade or jam? Jam.
Oh, jam.
like
Jam all day.
100%.
Jam in.
Raspberry, strawberry, blackcurrant.
Then he sends in the serious one.
Cherries
What a
nice.
marmalade,
Alright.
what a marmalade donut. Would you?
Games we
marmalade.
should target for 3 points that remain. Southampton, Huddersfield, West Brom,
Yep.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
I would say aye.
Arsenal.
I would say Chelsea as well.
Thoughts?
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea's on the
Chelsea.
road.
Last game of the season.
Conte's going to be.
We're going to be no.
Conte's
no
away.
for them to
No
play.
We
for
were
them
bad
to
at
play
Spurs,
for.
didn't we?
Aye.
Is Arsenal away or home?
They're all at home, them games.
Are they?
They're all the
Oh.
home games.
Why aye? Win the lot, man.
We'll see.
Yes, we've got Leicester at home as well, haven't we? Or is
Away.
Leicester away? Leicester's away.
Ah, it's away, aye.
Wait at Leicester, wait at
We're lucky that the two
Spurs.
top guys we've got are shite. We're lucky with that, really. We're not playing like City and, say, Spurs. Well, we are playing Spurs away, but the two, out of them fixtures, there's 3 games that you think we're going to win. And the other 2 that sound really hard are actually not.
The
Because the
Huddersfield-
shite teams. Arsenal.
Out of them teams down there, Huddersfield's probably the one I wouldn't fancy playing.
I worry more about the Huddersfield game than I do the Arsenal.
Yeah. Huddersfield.
I fancy
are-
with more to turn up against
Just
Arsenal
listen
than I
how
would
stupid
against
that
Huddersfield.
sounds as well.
I know, it's ridiculous, but you do though, don't you?
But Huddersfield have got something to play for,
Yeah. Right,
and they're half decent.
Young Mono sends in.
Who?
Young Mono.
Young Mono.
He's a regular.
friend
He's a
of the
regular.
Young Mono.
That's true.
No, not Mono. Young Mono.
Young Mono.
'Cause there's
Sorry.
2 of them.
Oh, still sorry.
How many games will Slimani play?
5.
Like I said before,
5. I'm going 3.
4.
like I said before, he's
like
been
Switch,
injured,
isn't
so
it?
he's got to get match fitness. So he's probably going to get about 3 or 4 games. But when it works all out,
Right,
And this is the last.
Charlie Turner. If you could drop kick one player, past or present, who would it be?
Jermaine Jenas at the minute.
Jermaine Jenas, I'm going to
Yeah.
drop kick him right in his little fucking ugly face.
present.
Sissoko.
Not Ben Arthur.
No, I'd rather kick Sissoko.
Ah, it's Sissoko.
Ben Off, I'd be second in my list.
Who was yours, is he?
Sissoko.
Sissoko.
Yeah. Not happy what Genesis said, but Sissoko. Oh. Boy,
Right.
I'm
it's
trying to think of someone that I really, really didn't like.
Bellamy deserves a drop kick.
Nah, he was good, man.
He does
At least he
deserve a
did
drop
something
kick. though.
good, though. You know what I mean?
Before Sissoko and Ben Off to some extent.
What about present though? He's
My
said
most
present as well. It's
hated-
got to be Perez.
Perez?
It's got to be Perez.
Perez.
Right in the
Murphy.
face.
No, nah. You know what it is?
There's not a player
I don't.
I dislike
I
right
know,
now.
I'm with him.
Oh.
What is it?
No,
I hate
Who?
Perez. Like,
Perez?
no, but no.
No, but I don't dislike
The
Perez.
drop kick.
he's
Shit.
fucking shit.
I don't dislike any
sure?
player at the
Horrendous.
minute.
Awful.
Yeah, I don't dislike any of them. That have, like,
This is probably the first team where I haven't like really hated a player.
I don't hate him like I do Sissoko.
I hate Perez. Like.
It's like 'cause everyone knows how much I hate Gouffran. I'd drop kick him in the face.
See, Gouffran had his qualities.
Did he? Fuck. Right. Martin Garrick sends in brown sauce or ketchup.
Martin Garrix.
ketchup, 100%.
Depends what you
You
put
know,
in.
Depends what it's on,
that
innit?
world famous DJ is
I
always
had beans on
tweeting us.
toast tonight with brown sauce on. That is up there, like.
Yeah, dirty bastard.
What about a sausage
And
sandwich?
I always have
Brown? It's
red
gotta be brown.
sauce. I always have
Tomato?
red
Yeah.
sauce on my Sunday's dinner.
Tomato sauce.
You have sauce on your... Right.
Sauce
Right,
on your
and
what?
fin-
You Sunday
finish-
dinner?
No, yeah,
Dirty
try
bastard.
it. Try it.
Cheers, lad.
Everyone off.
Probably more sense now they've gone. No, is it not? Yeah,
Tomato sauce.
No, Jack,
On your
Where
Sunday
do you put
dinner.
it? All over.
On your
Do you have
gravy.
gravy as well?
Do
Do
you pour it in your gravy jug?
you have gravy and then
You
sauce?
put it all over.
I feel like Jermaine Jenas. I'm getting like asked questions and I'm going to respond with the wrong answer.
Yeah, you will.
You've already answered
already
it
done that
incorrectly by saying you have
I've
sauce
got
on your dinner.
balls. Well, one anyway. So, well, one work, one of it. Right, so of course I've had Sunday's dinner without red sauce. Got many thousands of times. However, I put it all over the place, and I've gravy as well.
With gravy as well.
Yeah.
gravy
Now,
with sauce on the
just
top?
Hold on, hold on.
dirty
Have you done it?
No, because it's
There we go.
wrong.
So
Why would you do it?
have you done it?
I've had brown sauce on my Sunday dinner.
Oh, yeah,
That's
filthy
also
bastard.
fine. But have you done it or not?
I would never
So there we
entertain
go. Then
doing
you
it
didn't have it.
because it's wrong.
You didn't have it. It's amazing. It's absolutely
The
lovely.
only acceptable thing to have brown sauce.
I know
on
it sounds
is
weird, but it's nice though.
Sausage sandwiches, you'd have shit.
corned beef,
Fucking corned beef.
corned beef hash,
Man.
or a corned beef sandwich with brown sauce, or a you know a Grosvenor pie, like that pork
You
pie.
love
with the egg
pies,
in the
you. Yeah, you know.
middle. Oh, hey. Oh, you were loving me pies on Saturday though, weren't you?
He was like a baker, wasn't he?
He was like a baker.
He was,
Asda's whoops.
Yeah, Dixon's
Two pies for 10 pence.
Two
Dixon's
pies, can
high.
you believe it? Dixon's pies, 2 of them for 10 pence.
Whoops.
My cholesterol level was on
Whoopsies.
point on Sunday morning.
Did we had
Through the roof.
steak pies,
And more points than us.
Subway. That was bad, wasn't it? Literally Aldi. When they were that hammered.
I didn't have anything apart from one pie.
You had a pie. Did you not get Subway at the service
Nah,
station?
that's why I couldn't see anything happening
You
in
got
front
2
of us.
Subways, you fat get.
Ah,
I think I got a
that
free
magic?
one.
I did. I definitely give that 20 quid, but I got across the road now.
Right, shall we go tonight? It's definitely brown sauce.
It's Tuesday night.
Tomato sauce. Is that it for the questions?
Is that what it was?
I think
Oh,
so.
it was.
Pretty
3
sensible
questions.
tonight, wasn't it?
3 questions, I've asked loads.
Like Christoph Wallace, she answered one as well. Remember?
Christoph, is he French now?
Christopher, he's Norwegian. Liverpool fan. We met him.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So thoughts on Saturday then?
Must win. Must
Will
win.
though? Will
I'm not here, so we'll probably win.
Oh, where you like? Oh, where you like?
It's got to see Mickey.
I'm not allowed to see it in case someone comes robs me house.
Oh,
right.
Aye, one of them. I'm like, I'll type myself
Alright.
on
Chef
the
just basically told
You
them
just
I'm not
basically
here.
told everybody there that you're not going to
I'm
be.
robbing your house, it's
Adam
Irish.
staying there. I thought Adam was house.
Oh yeah, Adam's house in.
parties. It was.
Yeah. The dog's fucking massive, don't even try
That's
it.
what he told me.
I was
fucking dog. You want to worry about? It's the cat.
I went on holiday with all the family and I tagged everyone in, going like, on holiday 2 weeks best. And my sister was like, "What you doing?" Like, everyone knows that all of them have gone. I think you got a good point there, really.
Right, so Saturday, let's have a score prediction. Start Mark, because you'll take the fucking longest out of the whole of it.
Okay, come back to me.
Nah, start. Just give it a score.
We're going to win 2-0.
Is he?
1-1.
Safe.
Kills us
It's
the
on the
same.
fence. It's on the fence. It's on the fence.
It's normally me, that.
I was thinking 1-1, but I'll go for 2-0. I'll go for 2-0.
I think we'll get beat.
Be positive.
I'm going 3-1.
Fuck
I
off.
will never score 3 goals.
Dick, I'll be naked if we score 3-1.
3-1.
I did say 5 naked, like.
Adam saying 3-1. 3-1.
3-1.
Newcastle United.
That used to be like the Robson days when it was always just 3-1. Like,
Mitrovic
the
against
problem-
Is-
the bar.
Come
we
bring him
have,
back.
what's he called? Who Albert scores against with? Is he fit for them?
long.
There's so many players that score so many goals against me.
Who, Marco Gabbiadini?
Well, it's not Mark, is it?
Malatis!
He used to always score.
No,
against
long
them.
one.
Long and the other one.
Long doesn't score.
Aye, Long hasn't scored for. Oh shit!
We're against
Shit.
us.
Oh man, I've
Ah,
just jinxed
no,
me.
he
Yeah.
scored.
That's what
First
we
goal
are.
long. That's
We
the
are
sticker
always
on
like
it.
Sky, especially from the telly as well. They'll always go, "Well, he hasn't a shot on target for 189 days."
He scores 4 against
Patrick.
Newcastle.
No.
Aye.
It happens every time, man. It happens. But I think
It's Austin and Long.
the team. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Richie will be batting. Richie will be batting.
I think there'll be a few
Yeah.
changes.
I think he rested Richie just simply. I think he almost thought we'll get beat today. We'll save Richie for the big one on. Not saying Richie's like this kid.
I can't
Do you know
understand-
what I play? I like that's
Well,
gonna
I know,
play
I
for
mean-
us,
Is you going to do Galen Perez, do you reckon?
I'd put Murphy back out
Eh?
on the right
He's going to do them.
over Richie.
but I wouldn't.
That was
have
like
put
from
Kennedy
American
and Richie.
Pie joke. That one.
I'd definitely play Richie. Like.
Kennedy and Murphy.
Probably already done Perez.
You'd play Murphy ahead of Richie, really?
Take Arnie.
No way.
Gives
man.
you more going forward.
No way.
Who does?
Murphy does apparently.
Murphy gives you more going forward than Richie does.
I'd pay Murphy over over Richie. Like.
Would you?
I would as well.
Would you?
No.
Oh, well. Sorry, your Man United gears. Your Man United goals have been short-lived. Like.
Did you say Man United gears?
Well, there's plenty.
Right, leave it.
What did you
Guys,
say?
no.
He said. What did you say? You said you should play him, didn't you, Richie? 100%.
You play Richie.
I guarantee he'll play.
He had a good game against Bournemouth.
You play against
See
Man
what they
United.
say?
Bournemouth, yeah.
So
Oh.
Bournemouth. Right. We've changed his ways.
Good night, James.
Midfields is going to be the interesting one.
Thank you to our sponsors, International Glass Consultants,
Oh, where they go?
and
Glass.
Guglielmo Clothing.
You're getting good at that now, aren't you?
Mint, I'm
Yeah, say
fluent
it
in
again.
Italian now, Guglielmo.
Yeah.
Guillermo.
Guglielmo.
Guillermo. Something
I
like
could be saying it completely wrong. But you get 10% off, so go on the website.
that. Class.
You get some mint t-shirts and a hoodie.
With a lion on it. Or a tiger or something. Tiger, isn't it?
Good, good promotion for a sponsor.
It's a tiger.
It's a tiger?
Tiger.
It's a tiger. He's got a bear one coming soon as well.
I wouldn't know, because you nicked all the
But it wouldn't
the
fit you, would it?
promotional one.
It's a jungle book like or something. Yeah, with bears and tigers and
We
that.
didn't even get a,
That is a good shout.
we didn't even get a sticker or anything.
The code should be...
Oh, yeah, sort out.
Jungle Book.
Where's the lad
Jungle Book?
stickers?
Yeah.
Alright, Jungle Book. Change the code.
That
Jungle
might,
Book.
that might, what's the brand called?
Guglielmo.
Maybe that in Jungle Book in Italian or something.
Giangello book.
Don't you, dear, are you? What's going on?
Right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Jermaine
Yes.
Jenas, you're a fucking
Fuck off, Jenas.
arsehole. Fuck you.
And you in the blue coat.
What about the one in the
They'll
white
be so
coat?
watching more in a blue coat and they'll go. Turn around like that. Giving the block out.
He was a prick wearing that blue coat.